Hello, everyone, and welcome to SmashBoxxTV podcast 607.
Not a bad day for you to be here in Wisconsin. A little windy, but nice and warm today.
Windy's an understatement. I don't know if you went out at all.
A little bit.
Was in the condition? If the wind is moving my large frame around, it was upwards of 35, 40 miles per hour at points. It was quite gusty for this husky fella. So, yes, windy out there, but the temperature, it's funny, I arrived back in Milwaukee area last night around 9:30, and it was down to 40
it was chilly last night.
degrees, 40-something degrees. I went out walking, and it was only 38 degrees or something of that nature, so it definitely warmed up quite a bit today, but lots of action that took place down there in Austin this last weekend, where I always do second guess when we're out there on the course and we're talking about conditions, and of course wind, whether you're expecting it and it doesn't show up, or it shows up and it's crazy, or whatever the case is. And then I also think about the heat and the humidity. Also, you expect certain places to have certain conditions, but
last week I had said, I don't know when the rain's going to hit, sometime Friday or Saturday, but it appears that we were going to get some rain. Let's just hope there's not a thunderstorm or whatever, even though it said thunderstorms. And there was a slight delay on Saturday.
Yeah, it was. The funny thing to me was, when I think Texas, I just generally will think hot. Yeah. Pretty much any time of the year. I know it's not, but that's a pretty good assumption overall. What really was the eye-opener for me was seeing Valerie Mondahano on Saturday morning, and she was warming up, and we were just chit-chatting, and I said something or other about the humidity, and she's like, no. She was so dead serious about this was not the humidity that she's used to or would expect. She's like, if we're in Houston, sure, but not here. And so it was definitely part of the storyline throughout at least Saturday. Not as much in terms of humidity on Sunday, but the storms rolled in, and the storms were a storyline yet again. How do you feel about that? Should we just quit having tournaments wherever there's going to be inclement weather? Because somebody suggested that, and I thought that was a really brave. I thought it was brave.
No, it's asinine.
It was really smart. Like,
you could basically then just draw a line from about, I would say, the eastern Michigan border straight down the country to Colorado, straight down the country. Or the Colorado Rockies.
Right, okay.
And you should not have any golf between April and June.
And April and the following March?
Yeah, that too. April and June, because quote unquote, there could be inclement weather. There could be rainstorms, there could be tornadoes, there could be that is kind of Midwest weather. Obviously, you see less of it come July and August, but then you get hot and humid, of which you're not, in theory, we could see 100 degrees with X amount of humidity, which is dangerous to play in, as they say as well. So, I don't know. It's asinine to me. This weekend was, last weekend, I'm sorry, was gorgeous in Kansas City. It was nice. We missed it by a week. I bet you next week in Austin, probably going to be gorgeous. Last week in Austin was probably gorgeous. Dumb luck. You can't fault it. It's just shit happens. You can't. Anyone that talks about, I understand having a tournament in Kansas City, Kansas or Missouri, in late April, early May. The odds are greater that you're going to run into something like that because there is more frequent weather that way, and that is quote unquote tornado season. Would you want to move it? I would love to move it. I would love to move it somewhere else, but you can't have the perfect weather in the part of the country for every event and still have a cohesive tour. It's just not possible because otherwise you're hanging out in SoCal for the first half or Florida for 10 weeks. And then maybe you can kind of quick do a run through the Midwest in September.
I was going to say in either potentially May or possibly September.
Oh, May,
when you're going to have the...
You think people want to golf in this today?
I'm just saying.
Super windy, or yesterday when it was 50, literally a high of 50 degrees? It's just goofy. and there's just no good way. You take the tour, you take it the way it goes. If your event fits in at that point and you have to be there, you deal with it, and we run and go. That's just it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm really kind of annoyed and over the whole discussion. Like, well, should we have events here at this time? Guess what? You fit into the schedule when you fit into the schedule. Like,
I don't know. I just feel like they should be seating or not seating clouds at certain times. I feel like this is all some stuff that we should be controlling.
Midwest is like, that's chemtrail season. You have to be careful.
That's true. That is true.
So, yeah, anyway.
Can we check in with the flat earthers? I'm sure they have some ideas.
I'm sure. I bet you it's better on the other side of the earth, the other flat side of the earth.
How do you get
the weather? I bet you the weather is better over there.
I wouldn't know enough about it.
I don't know, Terry. That's a great question.
At any rate, so one thing I don't think people know is, and understandably you wouldn't unless you were in the area, storms rolled in on Sunday night.
Yes.
They were correct. Now, I think they rolled in slightly later than what they necessarily anticipated.
Originally, I think I saw it like 5 or 6 o'clock Sunday is when things were, and that was, I think I looked on like Friday, but.
Yeah, well, they did roll in later on in the evening, and it was nasty. We had gone to try and get some after-event food and beverages, and there was quite a few of us that were out, and then it hit hard, and there was lots of lightning, thunder, all that other stuff, and it came down like it was unsafe to even just drive a few blocks to get back to the hotel from where we were at. And unsafe is maybe overstating, but it was dangerous to some degree.
Which
and
synonym for unsafe. But okay,
yeah. I was scared. I almost got hit. Anyway, that's another story. So it did come. There was weather. Now, another situation where the Pro Tour has to make a very awkward and difficult call, but
it worked out. Saturday, the players rushed through the round.
Yeah.
Like literally we saw footage of them running at one point on Saturday to get through the round. And then Sunday they made a slightly deeper cut and they started everyone a little earlier and they pushed through that round. And does it suck for some players? Yes. Is this the ideal solution? I don't know. It's the one that worked. So as we always say, some players are going to be disenfranchised by it. Some players are going to be really happy. It's like, oh, cool, they made that cut. I don't have to worry about falling out of the cash. Or I cannot make the cash now because I got cut. Life sucks. It was a 4-round event. There was already going to be a cut. They just trimmed it up a little tighter, They went from a 3 on the sides to a 2 on the sides.
Right. I know about that.
I'm sure you do.
So, I'm glad that everyone ultimately was safe. We didn't have people getting stuck. We didn't have the threat of anyone getting actually injured or fighting a line of cars or a line of people or breaking down in a rainstorm or a thunderstorm or lightning or anything of that nature. So when it was all said and done, it seemed to have worked out just fine. But it was certainly part of the storyline throughout this weekend. It was interesting to watch our players start around at 6 p.m. and not be in Norway or Alaska.
It was crazy because I was at, this Saturday, I went up north to visit with some family. It wasn't really a funeral because my aunt died like a year ago. It was a celebration of life is what they called it because they didn't want to do a funeral. So it was great. It was more like a family get-together. So it was fun and not depressing. But I was like, I kind of was sitting there and I was checking scores for a little while in the mid-morning. And then I saw what happened with FPO, and I kind of put my phone away and mingled with family. We got in the car at about 4 o'clock because we had someplace to be by a little after 6 here in Milwaukee. It's about a 2-hour drive. And I start looking at the phone. I'm like, what's going? Why does it say 6 o'clock is the start time? And then it hit me. I'm like, oh, rain delay.
Yeah.
Frankly, it worked out great for me.
There was a lot of uncertainty in terms of trying to get everyone through, and then if they were going to come back out the next day, which was fully the plan, and then just the way the timing worked out, everyone played extra quick, and ultimately the last card finished a little bit in the dark, or as it was getting darker. The question I never got around to asking Philo, asking his opinion on air, and I don't know, I mean, it's a woulda, coulda, shoulda, or it's a, it's just such a hypothetical, but if you're Kyle Klein, in that situation, and you could probably apply this to any of the players in the hunt on that, especially on that final card. Yeah. You're Kyle Klein, and I say to you, okay, Kyle, here are your options. We're going to finish when we did. We're going to finish in the dark, slight dark, and let's just say that ultimately for sure will cost you a bogey on the final hole, which is what he got. But we're going to give you a bogey on the final hole, and you're going to have a one-stroke lead going into the final day, or we guarantee you a par, but you're out here at 6:30 tomorrow morning. So basically a one-stroke. We're in this magic scenario.
Yeah. In that magic scenario, I think he takes coming out in the morning. Only because he's in the lead. If he's anywhere else, like if he's in 8th place and you give him that scenario and he's 4 strokes out, I think he takes the bogey. But because he's in the lead and he's technically losing a stroke on the lead on a birdie or die course, I think, I mean, I don't know what Kyle's sleeping pattern is, but
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay. Which means he probably sleeps in late, which would make sense as A, he's kind of younger, and B, he's used to, getting moving and playing sometime afternoon, usually. So, but I would think that in that position, you'd want the stroke. Like, the stroke would be important.
All of that effort to get up.
Yeah, I know.
To play one hole. And again, I'm guaranteeing you the par.
I know.
All of that effort to jack up your whole day, in theory.
Do you do it? Let's not flip it around, but let's say you play at night and take a bogey. You play in the morning,
you get a birdie.
You could get a birdie or a par. But you're definitely not taking a bogey. So you could, in theory, save a stroke or even pick up a stroke on your competitors. Who knows what they're going to do? You can't predict that. But do you think that is at that point, does that change the equation?
Here's what I will say.
Because maybe Ezra Robinson maybe doesn't hit that Barbasol tree if it's dark out.
Yeah.
Maybe if he can't see it, he doesn't hit it. Because every time he saw it, that kid hit it.
A can of can hit or something like that, right? I will just say in the what I know of Kyle, and it's even funnier because during his post-round interview, I think on Thursday, he said to Perk something about he liked the break. The break he thinks worked out in his favor. He was feeling a little tired, a little lethargic, or whatever the word was that he used, and that he liked the break and that the late start was totally fine. I think if Kyle has a 10 a.m. or a noon or a 2 p.m. or a 4 p.m. tee time, he's slightly tired. That guy, I remember giving him a hard time years ago in saying, you are 20, you are 19. How are you tired at 2 p.m. when all you did was get up?
Maybe he's a poor sleeper.
That very well might be the case.
Maybe an insomniac, and maybe he
is. The
amount of times
I've heard him say that he's tired, and the amount of times you see him even yawning out on the course. I'm just saying, I don't think in any world does he say, "Yeah, I'd love to get up at 6." Come play one hole, get practiced, get ready. I'm guaranteed a par or a birdie. I don't see it. And
if you're tired all the time, what does it matter if it's at 6:30 or 11:30?
Good question.
I'm going to be tired.
But then he doesn't play for another 6 hours after he's done with that one hole.
You play that hole.
So maybe he goes and naps.
Goes and takes a nap, and then he's even more refreshed or something. I don't know. But
anyway, it was just it was a funny thing that I thought because I think the same thing back a couple years ago when we were trying to wrap up at Idlewild is they played in the dark and a bunch of them bogeyed or did par or bogey or worse on the final hole.
Yeah.
And 18 there is very difficult and you're not necessarily expecting a birdie by any means, but plenty of people are, I think, expecting to at least get out of there with a par, and a bunch of them did par or bogey or worse. And I thought, because they played 17 in the dark too.
Yeah,
and I remember thinking, man, is that it's to me it would be worth it.
Well, 17's a coin flip no matter what it idle allowed.
Right.
Like you could throw a great shot that ends up in that little stream. You could throw a horrible shot that somehow is safe. I think a lot of it depends on the course and the field and what the scoring spread is, because you're playing with all your competitors. You're in the same situation. There are probably maybe a few players that from the 4th or 5th card that jumped up to the 2nd card, and they were lucky enough to get to play in some twilight and not the dark. I don't know. Like, again, it comes down to that possibility of an extra stroke. Because clearly Kyle could have used it.
Right, but that's why I'm asking if you're offered that on Thursday night, or I'm sorry,
Friday,
Thursday night,
like Saturday night.
Saturday night, as opposed to in hindsight when you lose the tournament by one or something.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know.
Well, let's talk a little bit before we get Mr. Ulibarri on.
Yeah, and I want to quickly also, just to your point, that exact point, we're going to have Paul. He is doing his own podcast, his own little podcast. He said we had a very frank conversation about it, and that, he said he wants to join, and whenever he gets done with his, we told him we would gladly welcome. I don't even think actually I sent him the link yet, so I'm going to do that. But it will be shortly after he wraps up. Him and the rest of the crew wrap up over at Tour Life. So just so you know, he's joining us, and it'll be whenever that happens. And I don't have that up on screen or am I paying attention necessarily to their timing, but that's when he'll be joining us. All right, go on.
Oh, sure. Let's talk about FPO. It was this event you might be able to call Return of the Olds.
Ooh, ouch.
Scoggins is on fire. She beats Silva Saarinen by a stroke. She took a birdie on hole 17, which gave her the 1-stroke lead over Silva. They both parred 18. And that's how it ended, basically. Owen is just lights out. She shot a 10 under par that final round, which was like 1,031. 1031 according to the PDGA.
Okay.
Now, again, I think these PDGA scores might be the not official ones. I think if you go maybe to pdga.com, it might be slightly different.
Yeah, just click on the scroll. If you click right on the actual...
I know I can click there, but if I'll do right-click and go to a new tab, because I didn't want to lose my position. Getting a little rumble,
thunder out there.
Yeah, because here the finals, it says her final round was 1,011, but over here it gives it as 1,031.
Interesting.
So I mean that's way off. That's
right.
Way different. It's not like it's just a few points. But anyway, it is an amazing feat that she's pulling off right now. Just there is not a course, and I think this can't be said the same about our MPO winner. There's not a course right now that you can't say doesn't that Owen Scoggins can't win on.
Right.
Just even she's proven on the longest courses at Deglow, she can win there. She has proven 5 rounds. She'll hold her own and win. As long as that putter is even remotely on, Owen Scoggins is in this to win this. And she is, again, put her in some plastic wrap, some bubble wrap, because she's phenomenal, and I want to save her forever. But yeah, what a great thing. It's really funny with Sarah Hokum doing, there was some talk about old players and Sarah Hokum and things like that. And I was trying to think back, like the first time, there was even a quiz as to the first time Owen Scoggins was on Jomez. And it was like 2021, I think. Which isn't a shock. Jomez didn't cover FPO very much back then.
I guess.
Yeah, so
I was gonna say that seems crazy, but no, not at all. Yeah.
Do you know about the first time that she was on video? I went back and tried to find it.
I know.
I know. Yeah, I know you know.
I know that she was on my video in 2014 at the World Championships. Could have been sooner, but she was for sure on the final 9 of the 2014 Worlds.
And who won that 2014 Worlds?
Katrina Allen.
Okay. Go back further. What about what was 2011? What happened in 2011, Terry?
2011 was Worlds in California, Masters Cup.
She made the lead card at 2011 Worlds. She was I believe she was on the lead card at 2011 Worlds. It was hard to find.
She wasn't in the finals.
No, she was not in the finals. She was on the lead card.
But I could see her being on the lead card potentially there. And yeah, because that was held in Santa Cruz.
I'm sorry, not 2011. 2012.
Okay, 2012 was the Worlds was held in Charlotte, and Sarah Hokum won, and she was not one of the finalists at Worlds there.
2013.
Now, Verdugo Hills might be one of the first times that I saw her personally.
Yep.
And I also probably filmed her at I don't know if I filmed her at that 20. Yeah, I filmed her at that 2013 Phoenix Ladies Open.
You might have. Do you know the first place that I remember her?
No.
Do you remember the round that Sarah Hokum got rear-ended?
Yeah. So that was it.
She was on that card.
Yeah, but that was 2015 Worlds.
I know. That's the first place I remember her
in Pittsburgh
on footage. But she was on
which would have been was that my channel too?
That was your channel because she was in the finals. But she also was in the 2014. I believe it's on Central Coast. 2014 is the answer, Terry. That was like one of the first times I could find that she was actually on coverage for a Central Coast video at the Worlds. She took 4th place at Worlds.
You sure it wasn't my channel though? Because I'm the only one I think that filmed the final 9.
I think Central Coast was there as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, that's 2014. She's been around for a long time. She's been playing a long time, and she was in these finals. And think about how long it took her to win Worlds, and now since she's won Worlds, she's just been playing phenomenal. It's like almost like the floodgates are open.
I was gonna say I don't know if I'd go.
No, she literally she's playing better since.
No,
she won
I know,
Worlds.
but I mean. But she was playing great before she won Worlds as well.
She was a top player before she won Worlds, but she's been playing even better since she won Worlds, which is kind of amazing, to talk about. All right, second place, Silva Sarnen, who again played well. It was really a 2-horse race after the second round. It was going to be very difficult for anyone to catch them if they even played remotely close to their rating, which they both played. Own played above her rating. Silva kind of dipped down on that final round. They ran away with it. Silva, Own putted and played phenomenal, but Silva left some out there for her. They let her catch her. Like, had Silva played up to her potential, Own would not have caught her.
Right.
Like, that's just the way it goes. But that's why we play every round, because you never know what your competition is going to do. Third place, Valerie Mondahano. 4th place, Kat Murch. 5th place, Ella Hansen. 6th place, Missy Gannon. 7th place, Evelina Salonen. It's really funny to me that we didn't hear really or see anything about Evelina or Henna this weekend.
Right.
I honestly had to double check that they were even in the field, because I didn't remember seeing them at all on coverage.
Right.
And so, which is kind of amazing with us how they've played lately. I was like, wait, did those two go home early? And I went and looked. I'm like, no, they are still in the field. So Evelina Salonen in 7th. 8th place, Madison Walker, having a really good event. Just solid play.
Bogey free on the final round? Yeah. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, bogey free. Playing above, I would say, what she has been playing normally. Tied with Lisa Fakis, Emily Weatherman, and Taylor Chosek. That's your top 10 over on your FPO division. Was there anything in the FPO you got to be on course? No, I'm sorry. You were on course for FPO because you were in the booth with Philo for MPO. Is there anything you saw on the course that would surprise us or that you gathered? Talk about that.
No. I feel like Valerie Mondahano, who's always been so solid and consistent, and is she one of the few women that doesn't have a win yet this year? right?
Correct.
That clearly
owns our first 2-time winner.
Yeah, clearly I think Val is also just all geared up to do it, to have a win.
We saw a few years ago she went to the West Coast and kind of did a fun
like back-to-back,
a fun sweep there.
Right.
So there's no reason she could not do that again.
Exactly. No, I mean, I think some of the very legitimate surprises, although I didn't see a lot of her for this reason, is that Holland Hanley had such a uncharacteristic weekend for herself, knowing she's a returning champ here, knowing that she hasn't finished outside of the top 4 or 5, and then she finished in 14th. So there's no doubt that was a little bit probably shocking for herself as well.
She really just played poorly at Sprinkle Valley.
Yeah.
That's what it came down to.
Yeah, and she had a lot of birdies there, but she also took some numbers.
That was the second round. The first round, she had only 3 birdies and a bunch of over. She was over par. She was 2 over par. You can't be over par at that course. I know it's not. You can't get through, and it's a tough. It's a tight course. It's competitive, but she should be shooting better in that first round.
Yeah, when you're looking at an 8,000-foot course, which is short for their standards, and then a number of those holes are, a couple of them are even downhill. Is there a single uphill? Hole 9, is hole 9 the only uphill shot on that entire course?
I don't know.
Practically, and the only other couple uphill spots are very, very light uphill. But anyway, Holland, of course, is a little bit of a surprise there. Taylor Chosick ended up having a solid performance. I don't know where she finished in 8th. Why don't you click and tell me where she's been the rest of the year? Because I don't feel like that's an average finish for her. Obviously, she can be a little bit streaky and then has some weekends where she's being talked about and a ton. But when she's been at the bigger events,
I mean, other than that first week at Supreme Flight where she took second, she was in it to the very end.
That I didn't see, so I apologize. But yeah.
Oh no, yeah. She came out of the gates hot.
28th at MVP or Big Easy, 29th at Queen City, 21st at Champs Cup, 15th at Played Again, and then 8th. So certainly finding a little bit of rhythm here lately.
Yeah, it's showing, I think, still her freshness.
Of course. Of course.
She will have weekends where, if the driving and putting are on, that's great. But at her experience level, I don't expect that week after week.
No, I don't know if there's anything crazy other than the fact that with how well we've seen Evelina and Hannah both of them have been playing just in general. Whether their putter was doing the work or not, I feel like they've been in the conversation a lot more, and they just really weren't in the conversation at all this weekend.
And it's funny because talking about Taylor a little bit, she's been putting really well. She's just not giving herself the opportunities. Like day 1, she was 8 of 9 for C1X, and then she was 10 of 11, 10 of 10 on round 3, and then 14 of 15 on round 4. I mean, her putting is there, but she's got to get herself to that position, which she's not doing. And that's, I don't know if that's an approach problem. I don't know if that's an off the tee problem. I'm not seeing enough of her coverage to really make that determination on if she's making, the greens and regulations.
She did have the eagle on hole 2 at Pennock. Was that on Saturday? Is when she had the eagle there. That certainly is very impressive to do it. So yeah, quite a day she had on Saturday. 10 of 10 from C1X, 1 of 3 from C2, 5 of 7 scrambles. So, and just a couple of minor hiccups out there on So, I guess though, crazy, so to speak, nothing that was crazy. It was good weekend, and I guess a slight surprise as well, because we're used to her consistency, is we didn't see or hear a lot from Missy Gannon either.
Missy's
her overall consistency.
Oh yeah,
I mean, finishing first, second, third, whatever on the tour over all these last few years. Obviously, it seems like she has an extra gear she kicks into late
towards the end of the season.
Like maybe this check wasn't big enough. I don't know, but Missy was missing from our coverage a little bit too. So I think it's fair to say that was a little bit surprising, but not like, oh, she's in 54th place or anything.
No,
so
no, it's Yeah, I think Missy's gonna be fine. We are gonna see maybe that kind of pick up. She'll probably pop in and out of coverage the next, round or so. I don't see her, we're gonna go to OTB, and I don't know what her history is at OTB at Stockton. Do you recall?
Didn't she just win?
Did she?
Major there? Oh, she won U.S. Women's. Didn't she beat Kristen last year for the Champions Cup?
Maybe. I don't know.
That sounds about right.
Sure, maybe. But at any given point, Missy Gannon could run away with it.
Right.
And just there's no shock to it. It's just whether or not she's focused, I think, and how the other players are playing. But okay, then we will talk about MPO before our MPO champ gets on the dial.
Yes, I did just get a message from Uli, and he said, "We are still rocking, LOL."
That's fine. Take your time.
We'll join you as soon as I'm done. And I said, "No hurry. Take your time. Our OG Smashies are here waiting."
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get all those fluff questions on his own podcast, like, "Oh, how great are you?" "Oh, you're so wonderful." All that crap. Wait till he gets here and we start hanging with the hard
That's
questions.
What we do. That's what we're known
questions. For. All right, first place, Paul Ulibarri. He wins in a playoff over Ezra Robinson. Ezra had a phenomenal weekend. No bogeys all weekend long. He was bogey-free, and he birdied over 50% of the holes.
Okay.
That's a pretty good weekend to lose. It's just one of those things, and you tip your cap or your cowboy hat or whatever it is to Paul, who just played really well. And this is what we said about OWN, where there are no courses right now where I don't think she can win. I can't say the same thing about Yuli.
Correct.
He came out, in his interview, he even said, he's like, I'm a, relatively, small arm compared to some of these guys.
Right.
Like Stockton, I wouldn't be shocked if he's not top 20. His putting has been great, but that's also a bomber course. So it's just, you get that feeling that like this kind of all lined up for him, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk more about that with him when he comes on. Jaden Rye in third place. Jaden, was one stroke out of this event. Going into that last round, 9 or 11 people were in it at one point. You could just, I was watching and just kind of like, all right, well, who's going to get it? Look, Jaden's coming. He jumped up 12 spots in that final round by shooting a 12 under and with an eagle on hole 11 and got himself into contention. Like, there was, going into that final hole, all I was thinking was like, God, just birdie this, and you could win. And, Yuli came up afterwards and kind of surpassed him, getting all those birdies towards the end. But a good showing for Jaden, young player. He's rated 1029. His event rating, it says here on the PDGA Live, is 1053. So that's a solid event rating, if you ask me.
Yeah, nice work. I interviewed him, or we talked to him a little bit during the press conference. He's obviously one of those young superstars that we've been seeing for the last couple of years now. Just took down the collegiate championship in singles, all that good stuff. Super nice guy.
That's right. He was in the collegiate. I forgot
out of
about
Texas, all that good stuff. So, yeah, very cool for solid performance for him for sure. And the fact that he was, fourth card and in that conversation and comes up one stroke short is a story in itself. We know that Zach Pajek is out there rooting him on as he's a fellow DGA sponsored player.
He is. Kyle Klein tied him in third place. Kyle really just couldn't get it done that final round. Shot a 1026 rated final round.
Was it a little sleepy?
It was a little sleepy.
Yeah, 4 down. You can't shoot 4 out there and expect to win.
No, he just couldn't get it done. And he was 4 for 8. I'm sorry, that's circle 2. He was 10 for 11 on C1X. He just wasn't, again, giving himself the opportunities
right
in C1. Like, it just, and 4 for 8, not bad for C2. But you gotta get there. You gotta get to the green. And he just wasn't that round. And we saw him earlier in the weekend have every once in a while a little issue with putting, but nothing horrible. But 4 down just doesn't get it done, and he knows that. 5th place, Sullivan Tipton. That guy has just been kind of hovering around the top 10, top 5 all year long. He ended last season playing very well, and he's rolled it right into this season. So congratulations to Sully. Evan Scott tied for 5th place. Evan I think he was in the lead at one point at this event temporarily. He shot a 4 down as well on that final round. Again, something you can't do out there. And he dropped 3 places from 2nd place down to 5th. But another young gun that, I'm not going to be shocked. Only rated 1027, but not going to be surprised when I see him in the top 10 again in the next few weeks.
Well, he clearly likes Texas. You look back at the last few weekends.
Yeah.
I go back to, let's just go to the MVP Big Easy Open. Sure. 41st, 22nd at Queen City, 100th at the Champions Cup. I think he actually withdrew from that. Played again in Arkansas, 74th, Kansas City Wide Open, 48th, and then goes to Waco, finishes in a tie for 2nd, and then goes to Austin and finishes in a tie for 5th. So
either something clicked in the last few weeks,
or he likes some Texas.
Just likes the heat.
Is it the Texas brisket?
Maybe I made some pulled pork or something.
I don't know, but clearly he's had something going these last 2 weekends.
In 7th place, the guy who used to be good, he's washed up now. Gannon Burr.
Clip it.
Gannon, who shot a 1047 rated final round, got himself up a single position with a 7 down, but really it was his 1st and 3rd round where he only shot a 5 down first round, a 1020, and then he just couldn't keep up after that. He just never was able to kind of make a run because his 2nd round was a 1076, 13 under. It's really funny because you watch some of the chat boards and the online chatter. After round 1, everyone's like, oh, maybe just Sprinkle isn't his course, and he just has issues with it. And then he comes out and shoots a 13 to get right back in the conversation.
Yeah, shoots 8 strokes better in his 2nd round.
Yeah. And then 3rd round, he shot an 8 under par, which was a 1054, so kind of an average round for him.
A little low, yeah.
And then a 7 down, not a bad round, that final round. If you look at the other scores, it's still, I think, one of the top.
Yeah, it's good, but
again, he
needed to shoot great.
He needed to shoot great or shoot better in the 1st round because this is a sprint. These courses are sprints. It's like the preserve, where if you're not birdieing, you are losing a stroke to somebody, and the person who birdies the most out here tends to win because there's not a lot of bogeys to be had usually. 7th place, Anthony Barella as well, and Kelvin Heimberg. So that's a grouping right there. Burr, Barella, Heimberg.
Right.
10th place, Adam Hammis and Luke Humphreys. Luke, who must just as well love Texas. That guy always started out the season, not always, but frequently started out the season when we were in Vegas hot, and then he'd go to Waco and play well, and then he would go to whatever other Texas event and seem to play well. And he always started the season really well. So maybe it's just a Texas thing for him, just kind of getting the blood flowing. So that's your top 10 in MPO. Some other names, 2-time champion, Nicholas Antala. He was in 12th place. So right under Luke, shot a 2900. Again, just couldn't make it happen. He shot okay rounds. The 3rd round was a little weak, but a 9, an 8, then a 5, and then a 7. You need to shoot better than that, clearly, if you want a chance to win, because he was 7 strokes off of the lead. So just a couple strokes here and there every round. Other names, if we scroll down the Simon Lizotte, who at one point was in contention, and suddenly, for some reason, it felt like he just started taking Simon lines on round 3. I don't understand I watched some of the lines that he took, and I shook my head. And I don't have the arm that Simon does. No one has the arm that Simon does practically. But some of them didn't make sense to me. And whether that's a lack of focus, whether that's just him wanting to have more fun, or him legitimately looking at that and going, I think this is my best line, which
I think is the case these days.
I think it is too. But it just didn't work out for him. It felt like any of them. He took 2 or 3 really big spike hyzers that none of them panned out, or literally did. And so ended up either in the trees or out of bounds. And then after that 3rd round, where he only shot a 1 down, we never heard from him again. It was just kind of he was out of it at that point. You cannot shoot a 1 down on these courses in any round and expect to win. It's just you would have to have course records the other 3 rounds in order to think about that. So Simon just kind of...
Well, I mean, that's kind of like what Anthony Barella did. He came out with like a 2 under, and then followed it up with his 12 or 13 or 14 or whatever it was.
Exactly.
And then it had a good 3rd round and a pretty good 4th round, but you can't open with a 2 under.
Yeah, you can't put yourself in that kind of hole. So that's really the story of the Barbasol Open at Austin, presented by Hampton in Home 2 Suites Austin East.
Right.
Whew, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, I somehow did not manage to spit that out or attempt to spit that
that's
out at any point.
Probably best for you.
And I'm not. That's not to disparage. I stayed at said Home 2 Suites.
Yeah,
in
you
Austin
said
East.
you like those places.
I like those places. The entire staff and crew, for the most part, were there. Great place to be. Yeah, love it. But that was a lot to share with everyone. So congrats to them for hosting us, or thanks to them, I should say, for hosting us and everything else.
Yeah, that's the Open at Austin. Now we have a 1 week break. I don't want to say most, but some of the Finns are heading home,
right,
to do the European swing.
No, some are to play. Some are like Antela's literally not playing into European Open.
Correct. Some of them are waiting to the European Open.
I don't think it's necessarily that a lot of them are heading back to go play other golf. Some of them are just starting to take a break, and European Open, or specifically for some of them, President's Cup might be the next thing that they're doing.
That's true.
What about like Heyday Line? I wonder what I honestly don't know what she's doing.
Well, let's look at what her
as to she might even be staying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's going to stay at OTB, and then
she's playing them all out. Okay, she's staying here for the whole time.
She's full tour. Tour.
What about
let's look at Henna.
I bet you she's not playing again until
Henna's taking a break until the European Open. So taking a little summer vacation.
And Evelina will definitely be doing the same.
Same thing. I looked at Evelina. She's doing the same thing.
So
because
I know Antela's doing the same.
Yep. Once they get to the European, then they're going to do the Swedish, the Ale.
Yeah, a few of those. So, but we shall see.
Yeah. That's your Open in Austin. Was there anything else that stuck out to you particularly?
Our first Elite Plus event of the year. Scroll down a little. What were payouts? I did not look at payouts.
Our winner,
$12,000.
Yep, Paul took home $12,000. His largest payout ever. I'm certain of it.
Yes, considering his last win was, I think, like $1,800. His last.
His last
Elite Series win was like $1,800. Owen Scoggins with $8,000. Okay. That's doing some work.
Not bad. What is Owen's cash right now? Like this year,
ain't too shabby. 29,000.
Wow.
Is she? I guess you could probably go to maybe even just the straight up PDGA stats page. And is she? How do you think? Before I get there, how do you think she ranks for all cash earners of the year, men and women?
Oh, men and women?
Yeah, where do you think 29,000 puts her?
I'm going to go with...
I'm wondering how easily I can find it. I think I can. Yep. Fifth overall. Let's...
Gannon Burr's clearly in the lead.
Gannon Burr's currently listed at 58,000.
Okay.
Owen Scoggins
She's second?
She's second.
Damn.
Edging out Ricky Wysocki by a couple $100.
Oh, see, I thought Ricky was much higher than that.
Ricky's at 29,354. Own is at 29,614.
Honestly, I thought maybe well, no, that's not true. I didn't think Holland Hanley was above her.
Holland's at 21.
Yeah, because
Antala is actually fourth at 22. Holland's fifth at 21. Silva Sarnen at 19. Isaac Robinson at 19 and change, and then Heimberg at 17. Yuli jumps up about 60 spots to being like 7th or 8th on the money list right now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9th on the money list with that. He's won 16,000 and 12 of it is in one weekend. So yeah, obviously a few extra points and some more money is what you're getting at. And you're obviously getting another round of golf when you have the Elite Plus. I mean, here's the question is, at some point, will they want every event to be an Elite Plus event? And then is it still Plus if so?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if you can't have every event be an Elite Plus because then Elite Plus doesn't mean anything.
Well, that's why I said, do you?
Then, I mean, if you want to argue that maybe you want to have every event be a 4-round event and have a cut, sure, maybe. But I still think they're gonna have focus on Elite Plus as in it's gonna be worth more. They want to kind of push that as an in between of Elite Series and majors, that kind of thing. So, no, I don't know.
So we're just going to play 3 Elite Pluses in the middle of the season right now in a row.
I know, that sounds so dumb.
It kind of sounds weird. I don't know if dumb's the word, but
dumb is the word.
It sounds strange. And then we're going to go play a major. Then we're going to play a few other events. And then we come back. Mm-hmm. And right when we get back, we're going to play an Elite Plus event again.
I know.
Being Ledgestone. And then after that, we'll have a couple more regular events,
and then
including a doubles event. And then we go Worlds, another event, then eventually playoffs, which are all also 4-round events.
Like, I understand having...
So we have more Elite Plus events than non-remaining. I guess not necessarily if you include...
Not if you include the Jomez ones.
Oh, no, I was going to say if you include Europe. But, yeah, it is kind of funny. We have now 3 consecutive... Elite Plus events.
Yeah, to me, it feels very cramped, and I don't see it sounds silly, but maybe I think you would want to spread that out a little bit more. Having,
especially 3 in a row.
Yeah, having Queen City maybe be one, or, I don't know. I don't know how you can get around it. Because obviously the Elite Plus have a higher payout. They have more rounds. You've got cuts that a lot of places don't. Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure everyone would love if the payouts all represented Elite Plus. But again, like you said, if everyone's special, no one's special. So I tell my kid that every night before bed.
Kid, you ain't all you think you are.
That's right. It's a good bedtime story. Okay, we're going to chat real quick about a few other events that happened. The Tim Selinsky United States Masters Disc Golf Championship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So there was another major going on, or a major going on top of this Elite Plus event. Winning this one handily, running away with it, was the guy I picked in second place. I picked him to take second. Cale LaVisca, because I said that Nate Sexton was probably the odds-on favorite. Well, that didn't happen to pan out. So Cale LaVisca wins this, shooting 42 under par. His round ratings were 1059, 1059, 1072, and then he slacked off at the finals and only shot 1,006, which he didn't really... I mean, it was clearly a shortened finals round, so it was only 13 holes, which means it was probably weather called.
Oh, it was
final says 13 holes.
Oh yeah. Because they had a bunch of weather delays.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, do you think Paul Oman's pissed? He's like, dude, I lost 8 holes. I was gonna make that 10-stroke comeback. On Cale LaVisca.
Dude, he had all the momentum.
Yeah. So, I mean, clearly he was running. He had a whole stroke on Cale going 13. So, Correct. So that last 1,006 rated round, I mean, whatever. It's a shortened event. It's a shortened round, so that kind of monkeys, I think, a little bit with ratings. I'm looking at all the ratings, all seem a little lower than maybe what they could or should be. But either way, Kale LaVisca takes first. Paul Oman in second place. Jay Boogie, one of my favorite names, in third place. Fourth place, Michael Joe. He probably didn't even see it coming. Fifth place, Brandon Cawthorn. And tied with Scott Withers. Seventh place, Cyrus Furman. Eighth place, Alan Jansen. Tied with my pick, Nate Sexton. And in 10th place, you had Brad Schick and Chris Villa. So that was your MP40 down to FP40. Winning this is Owen Scoggins. Wow, amazing. No, somehow she managed to win them both. No, obviously with Owen being at the Open at Austin, that I don't want to say left the field open, but it definitely gave everybody else a much greater chance.
Some reprieve.
Yeah. Because Jen Allen ran away with this one. She shot 23 under par for the weekend, beating Sarah Hokum by 12 strokes. Jen Allen's rounds, she came out like firing, shooting a 10.25 rated first round. Amazing. Her second round was 9.58, then 9.35, then 9.32. So she really got her lead that first round and then played more or less the same as what Sarah Hokum did. So she won this, you could arguably say, in the first round.
Right.
Congratulations.
Right, but they always say you can't win it in the first round. You can only lose it in the first round.
Well, when you shoot,
sounds like like Jen bucked the system.
I think she did, because when you shoot 8 strokes better than your next closest competitor.
Oh.
Yeah, because at that point it was Holly Finley and Sarah Hokum was 13 behind her. So it made it very tough to lose.
I'm gonna have to bookmark this because that might be one of those few times you can actually say
it's the exception to the rule.
Right.
So
right.
Sarah Hokum takes second place. Third place, Holly Finley. Fourth place, Sandy Hendel. Fifth place, Kristen Nauer. Maybe it's Knauer? I'm going to go with Nauer.
Probably Nauer.
Nauer.
I don't know her personally. I don't.
Nor do I. Nauer do I.
Nor do I. Exactly.
Yeah. That's your FP40. So congratulations to our new major winners. There's a bunch of other majors. Real quick, we'll run through just the winners of some of the other divisions. MP50, our friend, Kevin McCoy.
Big putt on the final hole to do it. And many of you saw it, like 50, 60 feet.
Yeah.
Huge putt to win it. How exciting and dramatic. Nice work, Kevin.
MP55 went to Barry Schultz, Wisconsin native. Wins by a stroke. FP55 was a few more than a stroke. It was 21 strokes. Juliana Corver wins this, taking home $1,100. Congratulations, JK. And I'm assuming she played FP55 because there was no FP50.
Yeah, I did not see any FP50. So.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever. More power to you. Play where the competition is. MP60, Jeff Harper wins this. FP60, Elaine King taking home another victory. MP65, Tim Keith. FP65, Lori Clois Chupa? I'm sure I messed that up. MP70, Jay Gobrecht. FP70, Sandy Gast. MP75, Dr. Rick Vokes. One of the first people I remember playing disc golf. Like, for some reason, just that memory of him at Worlds will never go away with me in the final 9. MP80, Carlos Rigby. He's got like 100 majors, I think, that guy.
Yeah. Well, that's because a few years ago, he
helped fly somebody in to win the major.
He brought his brother in. He brought his brother to play along with another guy that he kind of randomly met so that there would be a division of 3. And then the gentleman he brought along, I think, withdrew after 9 holes of playing in 2023's Pro Masters Worlds in Flagstaff.
Got to do what you got to do, man.
Hey, yes.
The funny thing about the MP80, you have Carlos Rigby, Pete May, legend, and Sylvia Vokes.
Right. She has no one else remotely near her that will play.
Yeah.
And so she goes and plays MP80.
Yeah. I mean,
how incredible. PDGA number 3360, a 634 rating. and played well above her rating for all 3 rounds, 735, 691, and 684. So played significantly above her rating. And Sylvia Vokes playing in an MP80 division is
to her.
Inspiring.
Props to her.
Right. And right next to her should have been Yuli this weekend, but that hunk wasn't there.
Wow. Is that a joke about his age?
It is.
I mean, come
Even
on.
though he's like 10 years younger than us.
That's
but,
true.
We can still make
Well, when he comes
jokes.
on the show, we'll congratulate him on his major win.
He would have beat.
Selinsky.
He might have beat. He might have gotten past Sylvia.
Sylvia. I was going to say Kale. I'm like, that would have been a good battle.
No, he's not beating Kale.
Well, you never. It depends on the courses, but you never know.
Kale's first major, huh?
Is it?
I don't know.
Oh,
that
okay.
was just it. He went into the playoff with Philo a few years ago.
I know
the
he was
year that
close.
he turned.
Yeah, his first major.
Yeah, that was the big story. Is that he went into the playoff at the Tim Selinsky a couple years ago in Oregon against Philo. Philo beat him on the first hole, and then he didn't win Worlds last year in his home state, which was obviously would have been serendipitous or fairy tale ish, but yeah.
But he got his major. Congratulations, Kale.
Yeah.
I for some reason I thought it was his second, but no, it's definitely
it's
definitely his first. So
I remember my first.
No, you don't.
My first time seeing Kale.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well,
etched in my memory.
Everybody
forever.
does.
That hug.
It was probably
those
like
eyes.
Oh yeah, I get to the sun was setting right behind him,
yeah.
and it was noon,
yeah.
so you don't know how it happens. But when you look at Kale, the sun just
anything goes at Standing Rocks.
Yeah, I mean it's everyone talks about that golden hour.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever Kale's around, it's the golden hour.
Exactly.
I mean you can't go wrong. That guy's never taken a bad photo in his life.
I think honestly, in all seriousness, I think the first time I met him was at Volrath of all places. Him and not Ross, him and someone else we know really well came and played Volrath. I feel like
really,
yeah, in a Pickle Open, as the name of the tournament. We weren't in a predicament. The Pickle Open.
Well, it depends. Sheboygan, you never know.
Yeah, way back when. I'm going to say like 2006 or 7 or somewhere way back then. I feel like he came and played in a pickle. It wasn't Tim McGill, but anyway. Yeah, crazy.
Wow. All right. We're going to talk about a few other A tiers. The 9th annual Big Picture Classic generated by Grit Discs. This is an A tier in Colorado. Winning this one was Joel Freeman, beating out Joe Revere.
Dang. No average Joes this weekend, right? Am I right?
Or Joel's. Joe's or Joel's. So, yeah, Joel Freeman wins this one over Joe Revere. Kind of funny not to see Joe go play the major. I understand that obviously he's still in school time, so he always talks about his vacation and what he needs to do. So, because, if Joe is in the field, it's competitive.
More competitive.
So,
yeah, he's competitive.
Yes, he's competitive. That is in third place, Christopher Robbins. FBO winning this one, Haley Huber by 14 over Michelle Sagboy. So nice. Congratulations. And that's kind of all of the events that we really need to talk about. We can chat a little bit about some news that came out this particular week. A ratings update came out, so if you're interested in that stuff.
Actually, yeah, I genuinely did not look at any of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess. I feel like I would have seen a post, even though I wasn't on the internet much today. I would guess that if Gannon got a new one, I would have seen it.
I think he's still at 1061. Yeah, and it didn't include this weekend, which he averaged like 1050. So he's going to dip a little bit. He's going to dip a little bit. He's going to have to play well at OTB and PN, the
Pacific Northwest
Pacific
Challenge.
PNW. Pacific Northwest, I think that's my hands out, but the ratings tend to skew a little higher. So, but I don't know about OTB. I haven't really looked at that. So
okay. But you think he stayed at 1061? You're saying
he did stay at 1061, is what I heard.
Okay, excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
how about our highest rated woman?
Kristen Lott.
Probably. Yeah. No, I don't know. Is she still listed?
I don't know.
Now I want to know.
Now you're gonna have to look, Terry.
I will.
That's kind of the PDGA news. The other big news that came out this week, yesterday, in fact, we don't talk about new discs very often or new equipment that is released.
Unless it feels good in the hand.
Holds any line you put it on.
Good for all skill levels.
Which is actually true with these. Good
what?
Good for all skill levels.
Okay.
Maybe not. Maybe only better for younger.
Yeah.
But Nerf and Prodigy Disc are teaming up to produce some new discs. And I honestly think this is a big deal. We tried to get Will Schustrick on the show. Unfortunately, he was not able to get back to us, so we weren't able to schedule anything for him today. But we did reach out to Will to come on and talk about the Nerf discs. These are literally what they're called. They're Nerf discs. They are discs made out of the same Nerf material that you would normally see on like the Nerf footballs, your Nerf bullets, which I could probably look around and find one in this room somewhere, knowing my kid. They weigh 100 grams. I saw that. I saw a video of Will throwing one, and it looks like he was
acing.
Ace. He did get an ace, so he's got the first Nerf ace, I'd assume. They look like looks like he could throw it about 300 feet. He said 300, maybe 350. I would love to see someone like Anthony Barella get into one of these and just unload. Which I'm sure we will. I guarantee you. Anthony's going to throw this Nerf disc at some point and have it on camera. But this is they're having a starter set. They've got a driver, a mid-range, a putter, and an ultimate.
Wow. Okay.
Is what it's called. So let me try to find the ultimate. Yeah, the Soft Flight Ultimate disc. So I'm assuming it's got a rim like an ultimate, although there is no. If I look at I was
going to say there's specs there.
Yeah, the photo specs are here. So yes, it does have more of a blunt edge, almost like a putter, than an ultimate disc, but it's made out of Nerf. I would love to answer the questions of like, who's making these? Are these produced in the United States? Are these produced over in China? I don't know where Nerf does their stuff. If you do a little Google search, you can kind of find out how Nerf footballs and things are made, how they're molded. Probably very similar to our discs. So my guess is that it's just a different type of material rather than. I don't know the logistics of whether or not the Prodigy machines with maybe a different mold can do whatever the Nerf foam is. Or if these are if like Prodigy gave them molds or specs on molds, like, hey, this is what a driver should be, make a mold of this and we'll sell it with our name on it, or if Prodigy's actually producing these. I could not find that information anywhere. Because I think that's really interesting to know that those details.
I will just simply read when you Google it. So take this as it is, especially under the AI overview, saying that Nerf products are primarily manufactured by Hasbro in China and Hong Kong, with some production occurring in India. Hasbro designs the blasters and oversees the brand. Specific lines like Nerf dog toys are made in New Jersey, and some items by Franklin Sports in Massachusetts. Now, again, I'm literally just reading, so don't hold me to any of that validity. But that's what it's. Yeah,
they are like an injection molded. Like when you're talking about obviously the footballs, the different sporting equipment, the Nerf guns, that's all plastic put together. So, but just in general, I think it's really cool. I think it's a really good move. It still continues to amaze me a little bit. Like what Prodigy does with these things. Like we saw them just a few years ago get the NHL contract.
And then similarly, the
college football, the NCAA one.
Yeah, and now licensing there.
And now they're doing Nerf. Like for being arguably maybe our fifth largest manufacturer right now. I don't know where you'd put them. Obviously Innova and Discraft, Lat 64, probably MVP at this point, are all larger or at least more sales than them. To see Prodigy be able to make these type of deals is huge,
right?
And especially when you're not seeing like Discraft or Innova do this kind of thing. And I don't know, I have nothing but huge props for that team over at Prodigy making whatever contacts they're making. Or
the innovation or collaboration or both, whatever you want to call it, and a little bit mixture of both, I think is incredible.
Yeah,
and is this going to be a huge step in if these are released through all the standard channels where you find most of your other Nerf products? Assuming that's the case, that is a massive marketing win and amount of exposure for them. As we all know, you go to Walmart, you go to Target, you go to your Fleet Farms and all your other stores, tons of these other stores that carry Nerf products. If they're going to be carrying then the Nerf line of discs, it's just that much more exposure. Now, how popular would they be? Will somebody buy a Nerf disc as opposed to the places where Discraft and Innova are already in some of those big box stores? I don't know if one or the other is going to draw more attention or if they're going to find more success, but certainly the Nerf brand is already an established brand that's been around for decades. And that might be an easier sell to a parent standing in the either the sporting goods or the toy aisle saying, well, I know Nerf and I know it's not going to hurt someone or something. Why don't I buy these? And there might be a huge appeal literally just from the 10-year-old perspective of, oh, I have these seemingly Frisbee-like hard discs that might break a window or scratch a car or break a car window or whatever, versus here's these foam discs or this Nerf product, which we know to be so much safer and
safer in schools
and softer. So that alone might draw, get the sale just based on that alone. I don't know.
From Prodigy's perspective, the only thing I dislike is that they don't say Prodigy on the disc. They say Nerf. I would love to see some sort of, even a Prodigy logo, because I think that, and I am extrapolating here and drawing a long line. Prodigy for the longest time has been known as the company where you start out as a sponsored player. We've seen it for years. The younger kids, they were there, then they move on, and they get to bigger contracts. Imagine now you're starting these kids off, instead of 13, 14, 15 years old, where you're starting to sponsor Prodigy, you see these 8, 9, and 10-year-olds now throwing these Nerf discs, and it says Prodigy on them. What do you think they're going to graduate to? Probably another, Nerf and Prodigy. I'm going to get this Prodigy disc. I'm going to go from the Nerf putter to the A1, So that is the only downside that they don't say Prodigy. Maybe they have them like under in the on the bottom side. No, there's nothing on the bottom side either.
Yeah, there maybe in there.
I was hoping
it might say mold.
I was hoping it was like say something in the molding somewhere that.
Let's read it directly off their site, which says. Yep. No, I just clicked on something like a silly goose.
Way to go, silly goose. Oh, no, it was a pop-up. It's a full-screen pop-up.
Well, you're going to make me
dismiss.
mad. Okay.
I did the same thing. I love the tagline. It's Nerf or nothing.
Yeah, it says, Prodigy Discs is proud to partner with Hasbro to bring you PDG-approved Nerf soft flight discs. It's a whole new way to play disc golf with 4 flexible, lightweight discs made from the same soft foam you've come to expect from Nerf, tested by our most trusted professionals. Nerf soft flight disc flies reliably as their traditional disc at a fraction of the weight.
Now, what I think could be kind of cool is, because I'm sure you and I will both buy like a starter set just to have them. These are going to be great for the beach.
We might be able to teach you how to play, yeah.
Oh, maybe. These are going to be honestly great for the beach. Think about like throwing a Nerf football at the beach, or whether someone was joking how they should put a whistle on it, like some of those Nerf turbo footballs,
footballs. Yeah.
So when you throw it, it's. But I do think this is a big deal. I think that having Nerf disc golf is good. It's safe. It's easy to give in schools. You never have to worry about some kid like trying to whip one and hit another kid in the face while you're doing a demo. Which is a danger.
Still might not feel great, but
it's not going to feel great. But you're not going to probably cut somebody's cheekbone
face
open. Yeah. Instead, you're just going to have maybe a little black and blue eye from the Nerf. I just love this. I truly love it. I think it is a great step for our sport. Now the question is, Terry, because I do want to get a hold of them and see how they fly. I don't if they're stable, if they're understable. I mean, it's hard to tell when Will Schustrick throws anything because he's an excellent.
He's good.
He's good. but would something like this, do you think there's going to be a Prodigy player that pulls this out at like Northwood Black? When you hit a tree with this,
how does it react?
Are you getting a kick that is less bad for like a 200-foot throw? Like, oh, I need to hit this lane. I'm going to throw my Nerf so that if I do catch something, I'm not ricocheting off 50 feet. I'm only going to go 20 feet. And the other thing I was thinking, is this the putter that's almost never going to spit out?
Right. Or
because it's so soft and maybe like kind of dense that when you putt it, you're not getting that same momentum that hits chains or pole and kicks back at you. Instead, it's going to probably absorb. I'm truly curious about how these putt and play.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we'll see them on the Pro Tour, but they are PDGA approved. I feel
excited. Like challenge accepted. You
get
the Nerf disc and you get onto the Pro Tour, and we find out these answers. Like, it would be, talk about marketing.
Look at this Yahoo with Nerf discs in last place. How would you be doing with regular discs? Oh, same spot. Don't worry.
Well, okay, well, maybe not that perspective, but I'm just saying, I feel like there's a marketing opportunity here. I feel like there should be, we start a GoFundMe and we get you onto the Pro Tour with a set of Nerf, just the 4. That's all you need.
4,
no backups either. They probably float.
Yes. Yeah, if they're Nerf material, they're foam, they do. Like,
so
the footballs
you're not
going
to lose one in.
No.
You got to wonder, you throw them into like just the wrong branches, the wrong trees,
are they going to tear up?
Yeah, like you got to wonder a little bit on that durability there. That's something I would wonder. And then similarly,
more than likely, I mean,
what if you're playing them in rain?
Yeah, they're no longer 100 gram. Now they're 200 gram because they've soaked them.
Playing them in winter. Yeah.
As you step up to see, hold down, and you wring out your disc, and then you throw it.
So many questions.
I'm excited to get some. I truly am.
I am too.
I think that these Nerf discs are going to be phenomenal, and especially for kids and getting kids started. I think I know a guy who maybe he would get one for his little one.
Yeah, maybe.
Because they're kind of unique. And you know what? These are better to throw around the house. You got minis in these. Because I don't think anyone wants to be throwing, have their 2-year-old throwing a cap wrap around. Do you?
I don't know
not
why
in the house. Outside of the house. But in the house, you need to have.
If you call him daddy. I don't know. Speaking of our favorite daddy, we've got none other than this weekend's winner in with such an incredible story. He knows it. We all know it, and we are honored to have him. We'll go into the Wayback Machine for a few memories, but also for the fact that this guy used to headline our after show week after week after week, and then he got all big time and said, "I'm going to do it by myself." None other than one Paul Ulibarri.
Oh, you guys are hilarious. Listen, I'm allowed to throw captains in the house or captain's raptors in the house because I don't throw very hard, as everybody knows. So everything's safe.
Oh,
nobody's ducking when you're throwing the
No, it's fine.
Daddy,
it's like
that doesn't even hurt.
Yeah.
Can we play catch with the captain's raptor again, Daddy?
I'm going to be honest though. I did play catch with that Nerf disc in the parking lot with Luke Humphreys. Thing is awesome. Great idea. It's a great idea.
Is it like, how does it fly? Like, is it stable?
Good.
I'm just curious.
It's stable. It's a little slippery. You would think that it would be like kind of grippy. It's a little slippery. But it flew great in the parking lot. I mean, it was a great frisbee. I think it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really popular for like beaches. Honestly, like you're like you when you get that Nerf football, beaches, you're throwing it in the water, the ocean,
pools.
Yeah, exactly. And nothing's better than getting a big old wet football and whipping it at your friend. Honestly, we froze one once and tried to hit somebody with it.
Oh no,
we were like 20. We were really dumb.
That's weird.
You do some weird dumb things. It would hurt. So anyway, congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Great win.
Yeah, of course. And it's now been a little more than 48 hours. A million and a half, maybe even 1.75 million messages, I'm sure, have come in rightfully so. But just in between messages, what is going through your mind in terms of reflecting over these last 40 some hours, 52 hours?
Honestly, the first day was crazy. I got done. I went with the fellas right afterwards. We got some food. I had a couple drinks. They were leaving right away to go to Arizona. Quick turnaround to get to California, obviously 1 week. And then I had commentary that night, so there was no celebrating for me. And then my flight was actually at 6 a.m. So I stayed up the whole night.
Okay.
I didn't get any sleep, and then yesterday was a blur. But today I've had a little time to reflect. I tried to write a post, couldn't write it, didn't sound correct. But during that whole time, this is my truth. I'm walking every 15 minutes. I just start giggling. I just start giggling. I'm not kidding. I'll just sit there and I'll just be like, are you serious? Because it's so nuts to me that this happened. It's so crazy. Yeah, I mean, words can't describe. Like, I'm not kidding. I'll just start laughing. My wife will be like, "What? Are you thinking about your win again?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm laughing. And then I can't go on Facebook or I can't go on Instagram because I'll see a post, I'll watch it. Dude, it's like I'm watching somebody else from my vision, and then I get emotional seeing it. And so it's been a whirlwind of emotions, and I don't think it's quite that real yet, you know?
It's really funny because we ask a lot of our winners that come on this show, did you go back and watch the broadcast? Did you go back and watch the Jomez version? Like, you had to commentate it. You literally had to watch it. There was no choice. So you clearly commentated on the Jomez version. Did you go back and watch the live version at all? Or
I did, yeah. No,
did?
I've seen pretty much everything, yeah.
Okay. I guessed as much, but you also stepped away from the Jomez commentary for round 3.
I did. So the way that went down was it was going to be in the morning. And so I got done. I left the course at like 9 o'clock after autographs and everything. Like, it was pretty dang late. We went and got food. I had talked to the Jomez crew. I talked to the people who were directing it and giving us the rundown. And I was like, man, I really don't want to get up early and do this. I want to get a good night's sleep, because I'm fine with staying up late and then sleeping until 11 and then going to my tea time, no problem. That's what I'm used to. The problem was with this situation was the fact that I would have had to get up at 7 a.m. to go do the commentary at 8 and get done, and then stay up, get ready for the round. And that would have been completely against my schedule that I'm used to, of staying up super late and doing the commentary. So that's why I stepped away, and I was like, hey man, if we could get somebody to replace me, that would be fantastic. Luckily, Connor O'Reilly stepped in and he did a fantastic job, and I was able to get the rest that I needed. So that people are like, well, if he just did this all the time, like maybe, it was a completely different situation. It would have completely disrupted my sleep schedule, as far as like going to bed late, waking up early, and it was like, I would have had to eat. I'm back at the Airbnb. I'd have to shower. I have to go to bed, and then I'm getting up, and now we're getting into the crazy area of work.
Clearly you've been doing commentary for a long time, and the fact that you were on the chase card, and it's only been in the last couple of years through the tour, through Jomez getting, acquired by the tour, and then all the cameras and footage, can easily kind of get integrated. How I don't know, different and or special is that we had your footage? I mean, because you rewind just a couple of years ago, and there's a good chance that most of your shots aren't making it into the footage.
No, I mean, we're spoiled. I think that's what it comes down to. I think all across the board, not just with myself. I mean, that's great that we got to see me, but we get to see the whole entire sport now bloom, and we get to see people who we wouldn't have gotten to see before. And winners that we wouldn't have gotten to see before. Like years back, you're not really catching a lot of me. You get the playoff and that's it. The storyline just is completely different. We got to see Jaden Rye make a big push from the 4th card and Gannon Bird do his thing, who's a crowd favorite. You have to film him, even if he gets 7th place. You got to catch that story. And so, no, I say that we're spoiled. You, Johnny, we're spoiled because we came up in an era where we didn't have any of it. And so to now see this, it's like to the newcomers, maybe the COVID babies, it's like, we get complaints of like, well, why isn't Gannon on the lead card every single time or this, that, and the other thing, to where I'm under the impression of like, dude, this is all bonus time. Like, this is all great, from what, they were posting film of me. Well, you were Terry, you were posting film of me from,
right.
from the Hambrick of 2011. That was Disc Golf Monthly, dude. If you go back then, that's basically watching a cassette tape in disc golf terms,
Yeah, that 2011 footage looks like it's from like 1980. Like you truly want to take a look at the difference in our sport. You've got the 2011 or any of the old Worlds videos where with the so mediocre graphics that like slide in.
Oh God, yeah.
It looks so old, and you tell somebody, no, that's from 2011 or that's from 2010, and someone you couldn't convince someone of that. You're like, really? That was like, yeah, and it was VHS.
Yeah.
So
I'm very fortunate that I got my shots filmed, and after my 2 double bogeys, there was a little lull where we didn't get to see much. So
the camera was kind of you could probably hear Mo in the thing. Like,
we saw it leave. AB and I saw the camera leave, and we're like,
peace.
Well, I guess we're done. It was actually a funny moment. We're like, there you go. He's just walking out the other direction. I'm like, well, Gannon Bird must be doing his thing.
So awkward, right? Because players now know. I mean, we've obviously been at this for a while with the live coverage and developing more and more cameras. Players, you might be the start of the show, so we'll just say 3:30 local time, and if it's round 1. And so Isaac Robinson is on hole 12, and all of a sudden on hole 12, and it's 3:30, a camera shows up. Like, you can assume you're playing well. We're getting that footage, so on and so forth. So when players come and go, or camera operators come and go, like, you're like, okay, yeah. So I get the writing's on the wall.
The ultimate insult when the cameraman pieces out, like adios, dude.
Yuli, that's your second bogey. I gotta go. I gotta catch lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what? Okay, let's start here. Courses. How much do you feel like? Obviously, you're a competitor, and you're good, but 2 weeks from now,
are you doing this at OTB?
Yeah, it's 2,000 feet longer, almost 100 feet longer on every hole, little more openness. Not that you can't win there, but do these courses set up for you better than some of the other ones?
Oh, listen, it was a great track for me, both of them. I'm not naive in the fact of where my skill set is. I'm not naive in the fact that it took a lot of help from the lead card for me to even be in position. Like, we haven't seen that. Listen, I watched the coverage. I commentate on the coverage. I know the skills that these guys have, and we haven't seen something like that from a lead card all year, of everybody just kind of failing down the stretch, and that's what it took. But this is disc golf, and you got to play, the whole way. Like, listen, the course was playing really, really fair to everybody. Mm-hmm. I was very surprised that there was only 112 under. I thought it was going to take a 14 under from me. Going into the round to have a chance. Like, that's typically what it takes. So I'm not naive to the fact that, like, I got all the breaks go my way and a lot of people didn't, and I got bad golf from the best players in the world at the same time for what they're capable of. Now, with that being said, I didn't play my best. Like, obviously I played my best for the last 15 years, but I left strokes out there to where when I look at as a golfer, as a disc golfer, I can say, no, I could be better, right? So I can leave with that as well. Going into OTB, listen, I don't know what this is going to do for me. I have no clue. I knew I was close coming in. Terry, we had a conversation where I told you, hey, man, you're going to see me on. I knew I was going to be part of the conversation. I knew that just because I found a little something. And listen, back in the day, you guys there's no way you guys could forget when I would be like, no, watch for me this week. I'm going to play good. And I would. Or I would be like, don't watch for me like I'm playing awful, and I would play bad. So I've always been somebody who kind of knows what I'm capable of, and I'm not, crazy to the fact when I'm playing bad, don't pick me. Like, I'm good. Are you going to pick me at OTB? Listen, this is a new area that I haven't been in a long time. I want to build on it. I want to enjoy this. I don't really want to start thinking about OTB until it's here and I practice for it and everything. I want to live in this moment because it's been a long time, guys. It's been a long time.
7,491 days, roughly.
Yeah. It's been a lot of dreaming. It's been a lot of hoping, a lot of believing. It's wore myself out. I've worn myself out thinking about it. And so let me know after OTB. I'll let you guys know. How about I come back on and I'll tell you where I'm at.
It's funny. We see the graphics on the live broadcast a lot come up and say, these are the top rated, or these are the players that don't have an Elite Series or an NT win. And your name's never on there because you got the Brent Hambrick. But it was so long ago, as no doubt.
Yeah.
Does this win, because it's a Pro Tour win, mean anything different than the National Tour win from 11 years ago to you? I mean, I know it's probably really hard to compare because you're in two different... I can't
even remember the Hambrick, to be honest. I've played so many tournaments, Johnny, that it's like, it's a blur. Like, I know it happened. I know at the time, my headspace was in such a different place. Like, that was just the beginning for me. Like, I was the next big thing coming up. I won that tournament by 9.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I was going to win world championships and U.S. championships. And I thought that the sky was the limit for me. So I regret that in the fact that I took that win for granted. I regret that because golf's golf and you never know what's going to happen down the stretch of tournaments. So no, this win, it's not even close to being comparable. Like, this is way cooler. It's way better. I think for me, what it really comes down to is, I've played almost all of them, which is crazy. I've played like almost all the Pro Tours, almost all the, not all the national tours, but a good bit of national tours from whenever I started till now. And I've seen, I just said this on our podcast over there in Tour Life, but I've seen kids turn into men on the tour. I've seen kids win tournaments. I've seen kids turn into men and then win tournaments. And I've seen kids turn into goats. So I've seen all this. And at that time, back in 2011, when I won the Hambrick, I was one of the guys. I was one of the guys that was going to be one of those goats. In my heart, that's where I was, because I had beat Macbeth at that tournament. I beat Nico, and I beat them all by a bunch. And then it didn't happen. And then I watch everybody win year after year. 300 of these go by, and I'm watching new faces and new people, and deep down being like, man, I'm that good. Like, why is that not happening to me? And then having to brush it off and believe again and imagine again each weekend after each weekend. Like I said, it was exhausting. It was really exhausting. So then for it to finally happen now, 2026, like, the words can't express it. You know what I mean? Like, the wait was all worth it. It was all worth it. But to watch and to think that I was that good, and then for everybody in the media, and my fans and haters and all the way down across the line, for them to be like, this guy still thinks he's good. Like, what a douche. Like, you're not that. You can't even cash at the tournament. You know what I mean? Why are you talking like that? Like that's a real thing.
It's just Babcock. Don't worry about it. No.
No, but for real though, I mean, the statistics say that. Like for the last 5 years, I haven't been close. I haven't even been close, dude.
Yeah, you haven't podiumed and you've been
no, nothing. And so to get this win, now I can hang my hat on that. Listen, I don't know if I'm going to win again. I hope I do. I believe I can. I still want to win a major. That's my ultimate goal. It will always be my ultimate goal. Until I'm done playing, that's going to be it. But to be able to say I won in both eras is a notch in my cap that is unbelievable to me, and I'm so grateful for. And I'm glad I didn't win before, and I'm glad I got it now.
What type of we've seen a couple iconic wins over the last couple of years. Matty O getting his. Owen Scoggins getting the World Championships, I think, was one of those iconic wins. I put this. Hi, Uli. You there?
I'm still here.
Okay.
No, he played lights out.
He played lights out. I put this win up there with that type of emotion, like just the iconic. How does it feel to you to have that type of win, like the Matty O win, where the world was pulling for you? Literally, like I don't know of another person, who maybe Ezra,
Ezra's dad said, I hope Yuli pulls this off.
I was going to say maybe Ezra's mom, because I think Ezra's dad and even Isaac was probably like, no, dude, we want Yuli to win. Sorry, you'll get yours, Mr. Robinson. You've got 15 years to look at. Look at that old guy right there next to you. How does it feel to have the whole world pull for you like that?
It's unbelievable, man. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, and this is part of the things that people don't like about me, right? That I mentioned in my speech of my confidence and all that stuff, and I'm okay with that. But I visualized this happening a long time ago and for a very, very long time. And I've told multiple people, close people to me, that can repeat this, that I said, listen, I'm going to win. I'm going to win from the second card of a pro tour. I'm going to birdie 6 holes in a row, and then all of a sudden I'm going to be in the mix, and people are going to be like, "What the heck?" And I'm going to win. And I said, and then disc golf's going to celebrate. I'm not naive to where I am in this game. You know what I mean? Like just like Terry, just like you, Johnny. You guys have done this podcast, Terry. You do so many things. Imagine if Terry won a pro tour out of nowhere.
We've joked about like if either one of us somehow.
But seriously,
that's a much sillier stretch. But
it's silly, but it's the truth. Imagine if something like that happens, and that's like I get that, and that's why I kept drinking, because I know the impact that it has. I know the impact that it has on my friends. Listen, I'm a team captain. I know the impact it has on my team. For them to now see this Mr. Unk, who was so cocky and always told us he was going to win, and then all of a sudden he does it. Listen, you can believe, man. It's okay. It's okay to believe. It's okay to dream. It just might come true if you just keep going long enough, And so, but then to see, listen, I didn't think I would see 2,000 messages of people saying, "Hey, I'm a grown man and I'm crying right now."
Yeah.
That's the stuff that touches me. I watch the coverage and I watch it and I visualize it from somebody else because it's so surreal to me still. Like I can't grasp that it happened to me. You know what I mean? I go into like commentary and like podcaster, and that's the hat that I've worn for so long without being relative in that space, that I watch it and I'm like, this is an amazing story, and that's me. Like that, it still doesn't make sense. It really, really doesn't.
And I want to ask players who haven't won yet, because you said you visualize this over and over and over and over. Did you know how you were going to react when you dropped that last putt in? Like the celebration. We saw Cole the other day on the cutoff thing. He kind of gave the yeah. We've seen players, break down in tears. We've seen, Cat Merch famously the guttural just scream. Did you know how you were going to react when you won?
The Calvin Heimberg showing emotion.
Dude, listen, as soon as last week, I was practicing my celebration of winning, and I'm not kidding. Being in the yard, dude, I'm a kid when I play disc golf. I'm in the yard by myself, and I'm putting, and I'm going, this is for the win, and I'm feeling those emotions. I said this a little bit ago that I'm a nut job, dude. I'll be driving and I've said my speeches that aren't real to myself and cried afterwards, feeling those emotions of what it would feel like. I know that's hilarious, but that's really like being like, that's what it would feel like. That's crazy. And feeling those tears. So when it actually happened, it was such a relief, dude. I mean, you see me at the end there. I can't visualize what I was like, but all I know is I remember it going in and just being like, oh, like it's okay to cry now, it's okay. And poor Ezra. Okay, now I remember Ezra's right there, and I don't even remember the embrace. I just saw a red shirt, and that was the first guy, and the fact that it was Ezra, dude. I mean, hats off to this guy, for the sportsmanship that he showed. I didn't let him go. I held on to him for dear life because it was so tough, and he had to feel all of this negative energy just from the 15 years pour out of me. And he's, unfortunately, he comes at the bad end of the playoff, and for him to be there and me feel the love from him, even it was incredible. Like,
I was gonna ask, and maybe you don't even remember, because I vividly remember, Ezra walking over and you embracing, and there was a stumble, and I truly didn't know if it was Ezra holding you up.
It was, yeah.
It was okay. Like I couldn't tell if it was just like
I was done.
You went limp, okay? Because that, to me, I saw that and I was like, it was hard to see if like maybe your feet just got a little tangled, or literally you were embracing and Ezra was just like, I need to hold this guy up right now because
that's what happened. The poor guy had to.
If I let go, he's gonna be a pile on the floor.
I felt bad afterwards watching because I'm like, oh my gosh, I just beat this guy and now he has to hug me. But here's the thing about sports, man. You got to be in it, and he's been in it, and he, at Supreme Flight, he had the moment where he wins, and then all of it rushes off of his body. I mean, imagine that. Like, he has his brother winning all these tournaments, and he's in the background, and then he finally gets that. Like, that is something that I can't even imagine. And then it happens to him, so I know that he got it. I know he understood the moment and everything, but it's still, to be that big of a sport, like, dude, like it's
because it could be really
forever.
Yeah, and it could be so easy and clearly, I mean,
awkward. It could have been really awkward of him being trying to get away from me. Like,
dude, I just came in for a handshake, dude.
Why are you kissing me? This is so weird.
Or just in general, if it was what would have also been acceptable, would have been just a handshake. Yeah. Or if it was any other player that didn't embrace that moment the way he did, that would also have been okay. Like, there's other players that could have been pissed. They just lost the playoff. He happened to fully embrace you and fully embrace the moment. But had he acted what I think would still be considered normal, like, that would have been okay too. But it was that much grander the way that he did it. And like you said, and everyone says, class act, and just this incredible human that he is. Because nobody wants to lose in a playoff.
I was honestly,
I don't care. Nobody wants to lose.
I truly thought this, like, would it have been more awkward if it was Kelvin? Like, just
probably.
First of all, he's like 6 feet taller than you, but otherwise, like, just Kelvin not knowing for showing that emotion. Ezra, he is, he seems like a lovable guy,
right?
Kelvin doesn't have that persona,
but he's a fiery competitor. So let's not,
like,
I'm
not saying he's
emotional, though.
Yeah, he's very emotional.
Kelvin's not so much.
And that's what I thought. I ran through a few other people in my head. Truly, I did.
Yeah.
When you were doing that, I'm like, I wonder how this would have gone down with, like, just other people. And,
Yeah.
But
I want to give him his flowers, too, because I felt like coming down the stretch, like, I for sure thought he was going to make it on 18. Like, I thought it was over.
Barbasol had something different to say.
I was sitting in my chair, and I'm like, okay, like, he's gonna birdie and I'm gonna come close, but this is a good building block. Like, I'm happy that I'll go over and I'll hug him and this will be all good. And then when he had the putt, I fully 1,000,000,000% thought he was going to make it, because in my career, not winning in 15 years, I've seen a lot of things happen down the stretch where the tournament slipped through my fingers and somebody else snagged it. And so I thought I had 100% confidence that he was going to make it. And then he didn't. And I had completely made it okay that like this playoff was going to go a bunch of holes. I thought we were going to birdie a bunch of holes, and that's why I played so aggressive off the tee on 18. Is I was like, I have to birdie. I have to just keep birdieing. Like, we're going to birdie all these holes. And his shot on 18 to the right also made it that apparent that I had to be super aggressive off the tee, because he's a predominant backhand player. And so being to the right actually opens up the gap bigger for a backhand turnover to come through that gap. So when other people, I feel like, were like, okay, he turned it over a little too much to the right, I was like, no, that's a perfect spot for him. Like, I got to get right up there, and I don't want to be over there. I want to be as far up there as possible. So I was ready to go to battle for a long time with him in the playoff. I thought we were going to be birdieing a bunch of holes.
Did you realize it was just 18 on repeat, though? No, 18 and 1.
18-1, yeah. It was told
Does
to us,
hole one, I don't want to say, are you already counting that as a birdie, but hole one, does that in any way affect you or intimidate you whatsoever, or is that just always going to be a filler?
No,
to get
I was
back to 18?
I was ready to birdie those on repeat for a very, very long time, and I think he was too.
Yeah, it was pretty confident the way you threw and like just stepped off the tee pad. Honestly,
I thought we were going to birdie. I thought I thought it was going to take a bunch of holes for somebody to make a mistake. I really truly did.
And this is intentionally a silly question, but not. Is there anyone you would have rather beat in the playoff? I mean, Ezra was such a great, Ezra turned out to be great, of course, and he deserved to be there. But from a player perspective, or a rivalry, or a kind of a funny story friend perspective, would you have rather beat AB
or Macbeth
or a Macbeth or a Coling, or like, is there, or does none of that matter?
I don't think it matters. I think moving forward, hopefully I can get some of those guys down the stretch again.
Right. Well, that brings up another question that I had as I think I was reflecting later that night myself, and I thought, obviously, huge field, great field, literally everyone but Macbeth, and that's a whole nother story about where he's at with his health, but pretty much everyone but Macbeth. And then I said I think I might even said it out loud to somebody, I bet Paul can count on one hand the amount of times he's beat Gannon, who's obviously...
I haven't ever beat him, probably.
I did some research. I have some answers.
I was just about to bring up Statmando, so
I've already been there.
Yeah, maybe one time at like
what do you guess for, if ever, how many times you've beat Gannon? Remembering that Gannon,
how many years?
Gannon came in
you guys from the start, right?
From the start, from Gannon entered his first pro tournament against you, with you both in the field. Any guesses?
I'm gonna guess 4 times.
It's a great guess. When I said he could count on one hand, coming into this weekend, it was exactly one hand's worth. It was 5 times you've beat him. Twice you've tied.
Okay.
And like 79 times he's beat you.
Whoops.
And I think the first 3 times that he beat you, or you beat him, excuse me, he was still literally like 15 or 16.
Yeah, he was young.
It was like, 6-7 years ago when he was literally a 15-year-old.
Yeah. Rookie.
And he was just coming into the scene. And then I feel like one wasn't that long ago.
Maybe. I think Gannon took like a 20.
Maybe it was 2023. I think it was 2023 somewhere. And then maybe 2021. And then the other ones were
ancient. Mm-hmm. It's like when I talk about how I beat AB one time, and you're like, yeah, the dude was 13.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I know, and you were 33.
Literally 13 years ago. Yeah.
When was the last time you felt like you were close to winning an event? I didn't look back through your record. So like, what was the last time you went into the final round and thought, I truly like,
this could be mine.
This could be mine.
Portland last year, I came really close.
Did you? Okay.
At the Portland Open, I was leading after the first round, and I made a really good run in the second round. I dropped to the second card, and then in the third round, I made a deep run again, and a bogey cost me at the end. And I was only a few back going into the final round. And then I really I think I shot like even par or 1 under or something. So that was close, and that was actually a big building block for me to remind myself, like, no, if I play my game, I got a shot. I was talking to Perkins, actually, who called. He was either on the grounds or maybe in the booth. I think he was on the grounds and doing an interview afterwards, and he said, Paul looked crisp, and I think he has what it takes to win a pro tour again. And I remember hearing that and being like, yeah, like I do have what it takes. You know what I mean? So it's like little tiny things like that really help. But I haven't been close. Like, let's be honest. Dude,
do you know what your best finish this year was?
Well, I vaguely remember
the major. Yeah, I think I got a top 20 at the major, barely squeaked it out.
Well, I think of like
PGA championships. Is that correct?
I had it. Let me pull it up. Go ahead.
Because I was thinking
19th,
like Worlds at Smugs many years ago.
Yeah, that was the closest I've been.
Like you were,
and
I couldn't remember if there was only one since back. Then. Yep.
I was leading at one point during the final round. But no, it's been, dude, I haven't had a lot of times at all.
Yeah, so this year on the Pro Tour, just to you had a 71st, a tie for 41st, a tie for 43rd, and then Champions Cup, a tie for 19th, and then a tie for 47th, a tie for 25th, and then a big old first place with 200 Pro Tour points. And moved up 20 spots in the Pro Tour standings.
That's a nice way to get you into those, help get you into those finals. That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
hey man, I'm in.
You're guaranteed in now. Yeah.
I
didn't even think about that.
It was a big tournament for us. We got a nice long exemption for the Pro Tour. We got into the Pro Tour Championships. We got a USDGC spot. I'm guessing, maybe not. I don't know. They like to give those out wherever they want to give those out. But I hope I got that. And but no, it's been a long time since I've even had a chance, you know. And I've told Brad that's we're going, and the poor guys in my corner always, just absolutely just spitting confidence towards me constantly as we're getting 90th and 70th and all this stuff. And just last week we got in an argument, and it was a pretty heated one between us, to be honest with you, where we were yelling at each other like friends do. It was a real heated argument. And I had to tell him, I'm like, no, Brad, like, you don't understand. If I get in contention, I'm a dog. Like, I'm a dog. I promise. I'm not a choke artist. I'll get it done. We just haven't gotten there yet. And so it was nice to finally have him see me in action and not back down like we did that final round.
Yeah, and then there's been so much hype around Brad. Obviously, he's become he's got his own fandom, right? Yeah. Like he definitely, if he were to ever part ways with you as the caddy, it feels like there's maybe others.
He'll get a gig.
He'll get a gig. Yeah. I'd be so curious to know who that is that he would then be able to match up with. But what for those who maybe don't know the relationship between you and Brad, obviously it's professional and it's personal, but how would you summarize the relationship the two of you have?
Oh, so it's my best bud, man. Listen, my daughter's third word ever was, as far as a name, was Brad. It was mommy, daddy, and Brad. Mm-hmm. Like, that is my guy. There's really nothing else if that doesn't explain everything right there. Like, he is close to my family. He's close to my heart. It's my best friend. We've been together on the road. Just the worst. We've been through just like, dude, I haven't played good in a long time. Pretty much since he's been on the bag. Now that I calculate exactly the amount. And so there, you guys know this, spending a lot of time with somebody, it has to be a special somebody to spend every waking hour of every day pretty much with somebody. And he's one of the guys that I can do that with. He's a brother. He's a family member at this point. Without him, I wouldn't have done this. Like having somebody in my corner. I mean, there's every round we come home to our Airbnb, and Brad, the first thing is we were so close to a 14 under, guys, like blah blah blah, and everybody gets sick of it because I'm like, Brad, we shot 2 under. Like, what are you talking
just gonna
about?
Say we're 2 down.
Yeah, 2 under.
Well, you take out 4 trees and you hit those extra 6 putts. You're right there.
So close, but like to have somebody like that has your back in that regard is kind of priceless, especially with what we've gone through to where that's every weekend.
Right. Is that a blind confidence? Like, I could understand somebody being like, dude, shut up. We finished 71st, Brad. I don't want to hear the story about, what happened on the course. Where does that, is that just
it's
his
obviously
love
not,
for
I
you
think,
or like,
it's
what?
not a blind confidence because of what we did this weekend.
Right.
So he saw something in me that, nobody else saw. I saw something in me that nobody else saw. And that's why we are what we are. You know what I mean? And people can take that and be like, no, that's silly, like blah, 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 blah. But it takes that dump. Like, we're crazy, dude. we're both nuts for thinking that, because when it comes down to it, like, dude, I took 70 of that Supreme flight. My best finish is a 19th place. Like, why down the stretch was I so calm and I was ready to do it? You know what I mean? Why did my putt on 18 go into direct middle? It's because we're crazy. Him and I are crazy in that regard. And that's really what it comes down to. So yes, before this weekend, I would say, yeah, for sure, blind confidence. For sure, we're crazy. I don't know, but we're gonna keep on. And after this, now we can be like, I told you so type stuff.
Right. And I apologize if this has been shared otherwise or not. I don't know. I don't want to say what's the financial agreement, but like, what kind of is your arrangement in the sense that, caddies, and Brad obviously has this big golf history. Yeah. You're, old school golfer as well, but what is some of the things that he's helping you with? And then I think it's a fair question. How does Brad get by in life?
Yeah, so no problem. Like, he gets $500 a week, and he gets all meals paid for, all lodging paid for, and then bonuses on how I play, which is nothing.
Okay, so $500 a week.
So he gets $500 a week.
Okay. And a prototype disc once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. Some hand-me-downs here and there. So it's not much. It's what I can afford, and honestly, for the tour, if you look down the tour and people who play, that's a pretty good gig.
Right.
I'm sure there's a lot of players who'd be like, what, I get $500 a week and I get all my meals paid for and my lodging and everything like that. So a lot of people are like, oh, he gets nothing. No, for me and what I make, that's a ton. He gets a bonus for obviously this win. The big bonus is once I get another one. We made an agreement a long time ago that I buy him a new van, fully decked out.
Ooh.
Sprinter van. So
damn,
I might be throwing one down the stretch. Be like, wait, how much do I win? Is this Idlewild? I get 7 G's. I don't think this is worth it. No.
Hey, Ezra, you take this one. You take this one, Ezra.
You got it.
This is gonna lose me money if I win.
Where's the bar? Yeah, exactly. Where's
I can throw lefty here.
That's mine. That's my tree this time. And so no, but he's got a pretty good gig. It's not great. It's not like he's retiring anytime soon. But he loves it. He loves traveling with the boys. He's one of the crews. I've never seen somebody in my life who can hang out with, 25-year-olds and just be part of the group, which is really cool to see. He has a blast. And he's got a nice bonus coming. Discraft actually really stepped up, and they made him his own disc for this win.
Nice.
Celebrating that drops Friday at the Discraft Factory store. So it's going to be a Zone SS that says Caddy Victory. Victor, it's this really badass Zone SS that's dropping, in some cap wraps that have me and my cowboy hat and Brad on the other side that are going to drop. So he's going to get some support from Discraft, which they didn't have to do.
Right.
And they did. I also have a commemorative dropping Friday as well, which is just a regular zone with all the bells and whistles on there. So watch out for those things, because those things are going to go, I'm guessing they're going to go pretty fast. So no, that's what I get that question a lot. Like, people are always like, Brad doesn't even get anything and he treats them like dump. It's like, no. He has a nice gig out there for sure. For what I can afford, I'm not like a Ricky or a Simon where I'm getting millions of dollars.
So I guess this could go two ways. You and I had a talk on Wednesday, walking around Sprinkle Valley. You were out there playing with AB and Hamas, and you guys having a good time as always, doing your practice. I'll admit I didn't film you throwing multiple shots off of 18's tee at Sprinkle Valley like I did with AB. Just because AB was launching them like 600
Ooh, look, Yuli made it in bounds.
He was basically, he cleared the first log. That's great.
Right. But one of the other conversations we had was a disc that you are, sometimes in either need of or replacing. And I may or may not fill said slot. Now the question is, you can afford to buy one off me, huh? Little zone, a little 4-time claw zone. I might be able to charge you like going rate for that, or do I have to give it to you at a discount now? Which is it?
It was a nice payday, Terry. If you got what I'm looking for, after the podcast.
I might undercut him because I know I got a handful.
You don't have
there.
black ones with red stamps like
no,
I
don't.
have.
I do not. No.
So. All right. Well, if you're getting paid, I need to get paid. I ain't got that Brad set up. So
you know what, Terry? Here's the thing. In all of my imagination and my tears of being a crazy person and crying to myself in a fake reality, I imagine Terry Miller being there and calling my round. So I want you to know that it means the world to me. We had a conversation earlier this year where I was like, dude, no, you have to be in the booth because I'm going to win and it's not going to be the same if you're not there. Yeah. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, man. You're the GOAT. You got to be on the mic. You're my favorite. And I'm telling you, it meant the world to me to have you in the booth and calling that. Even though you didn't believe me in practice, I saw the smirk.
Nobody did.
When I said, you'll be calling me on Sunday, just wait. And okay, Yuli, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
He thought it was going to be Saturday. Like, Yuli making the cut. Way to go. Bravo.
Yeah, I did. There he is.
Scroll down, everybody.
I've lived there the last, however many weeks.
This guy can't afford this zone for me this week. All right, baby.
Yeah, that's what Terry's waiting for. It's just the zone market shot up. Way to go.
To reply, of course, you and I go way back, many years, all the way back to like 2005, 2006, 2005. You were at AM Worlds. I don't know that we necessarily spoke at that point because you were literally a kid and I wasn't much older, but AM Worlds in your Flagstaff, or the next year
you were old enough to make it creepy.
The next year in Oklahoma though. The AM Worlds in Oklahoma in 2006, and then obviously you taking to the tour, and then me either playing and or eventually doing film work come 2010 and beyond. Some of the earliest times you've ever been, or only times you were on a mic and or camera, were some of my vlogs, and you were one of the gracious. People always used to say to me, Who are your favorite pros? And it's a cop-out, but it was true. I would always say the people that work with me. And from day one, it was people like you, Paige Pierce, Paul McBath, Ricky, like the people that when I said, hey, can we do an interview? Can you do something quirky for my club? Can we film a practice round? Whatever those things were in the early days, the 2010, 11, 12, that kind of time frame. You were one of those guys that was always right there and willing to help out in that sense as well. So it's been so cool to watch. And somebody brought up, I think Silas Cut to an interview. Cut, an interview with you and I back in 2010 Worlds when you were out there in front. And You and I, I don't know if you remember it, but one of the conversations we had, I remember, was at Maple Hill on a Sunday night. And it was after the event was done. You had some things going on. I did. And just you and I think it was after the Candlepin Bowling. And just you and I at midnight are sitting in the Steve Dodge parking lot at Maple Hill on a Sunday night, talking about life. And it's been a long road for both of us in a lot of ways, but it's so cool to see you not only grow as a player and as a human, but then have these continued successes in so many different ways within our sport. It's been pretty amazing.
It's funny because I'm seeing a bunch of people in the chat do like Uli stories, like, oh, right. I got a hat from him, and the one that I have is the very first time I met him. I had no clue who he was, because it was at the Memorial the year after you won Am Worlds. We played doubles. We did the random draw doubles.
That's right. Yeah. I do remember that.
They always did it the day before Memorial, and I just got paired. Like, someone's like, you have Paul? I'm like, I guess I have no clue who this kid is, because at that point I'd stopped paying attention to the Am division the year before, and I just remember you coming up and be like, can you throw it in bounds? And I was like,
he's like, maybe.
I was like, maybe, yeah. So I would throw him like 300, 350 inbounds. And then I'd watch this kid just run up and boom, big swooping thing, and like 50 to 100 feet further than me. And I'm just like, this is going to be fun. We took third. And then I think we got beat by some locals at Vista.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, cool. And like, yeah, and everyone's like, I didn't even know who you were until after the round. Someone's like, that's Paul. He won Am Worlds last year. I was like, really? Him? Oh, cool. All right, that's good. Like, we did okay then.
Yeah, we did good.
Like, I'll take that.
And 5 years later, he'd go on to beat Anthony Barella as a teen.
That's true. That's right.
Yeah, he would.
Almost got Drew Gibson too. That he got me though.
He got you. Well,
what's he done? So clearly, lots of stories. I mean, your mom and your brother, obviously you're some of your biggest fans, but not only are they just fans because they're supporting you, because they love you, because you're family and all that, but the fact that your mom knows what this win means because she's in the disc golf community, your brother in the disc golf community. Just extrapolate on that a little bit about, because there's a lot of people that could be like, yeah, it's great, I won, and they're explaining it to a cousin or a mom, and they're like,
even your wife. Some people's wives probably don't fully understand
the magnitude. Yeah. So what does that mean when your brother's playing in a major in Florida and your mom, is checking live scoring for both of you throughout the day?
No, first of all, let's go with my wife first. Listen, I have almost a 2-year-old daughter at home, and just the most incredible little girl you could ever imagine, and I'm out playing a disc golf tournament, trying to provide for my family, which I'm lucky to do, to be able to throw frisbees and commentate and do those things so that, we can have a good life. But my wife's here by herself, being a mom, and it's Mother's Day when I won. And my mom, Terry, you've had many of dinners with my mom, and we've chopped it up. And listen, my mom thinks I hung the moon in the sky. She really does. Like, it's the most incredible thing ever. And talk about Brad's confidence in me. You'd go to my mom. Mm-hmm. Like, there has never been a wavering moment with my mom of always being like, oh, well, you'll get it next time, but really, truly believing it, So to be able to come down the stretch and win on Mother's Day was part of the reason why I knew I was going to win. It was part of the reason once I got in the playoff, I'm like, it's just like, I'm ready to birdie 20 holes in a row if I have to do it. And Brad walking down the fairway, he's like, it's Mother's Day, 2 mamas, boys. It can't go wrong. And I'm like, you're right. And so, no. There's no words that can put that in. Listen, I'm 37 years old. I'm an old disc golfer. I'm one of to put it into perspective, I think there might be 2 other guys older than me on tour.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. And And to be able to come down the stretch and for my mom to watch, I talked to my mom afterwards and she was like, well, I puked, first of all. Wow. And then she was like, I was so nervous, I puked. I couldn't watch some of it. I went into the rose garden and I was literally digging up live roses just to have something to do. And, it's been a long time for her too. To be able to watch all these people and me playing all these tournaments and her to be right at the edge of her seat over and over and over, being live at a lot of world championships where I made deep runs and her being right there, and for it never to happen. And then for Mother's Day to come and for me to come out on top. I mean, dude, you can't make this shit up, man. It was just meant to be. It was just meant to be.
Yeah. And all of that. And as you just said, your mom has been there for so many moments for yourself, but also just for disc golf. Like you guys, famously host people all the time. Your mom has, when people are in Arizona, and I, for years, Ricky Wysocki, default was coming to your house to go, for Thanksgiving, and just the family camaraderie and atmosphere and the togetherness that your entire family has always shown and embraced with the entire disc golf community. That's where it feels like the win is truly to be shared with the whole family for that much more of a reason. I mean, everybody can celebrate in a win, and there's no way to measure this, but your mom and your brother, I think, get to soak it in that much more than most moms or siblings because of that overall, just everything that's combined for you guys to be what you are as a family.
Yeah, my brother's called me and he's like, dude, I'm playing my tournament and I have all these guys coming up to me. He's like, I'm in the middle of my round and they're like, hey, your brother's like in the mix. And he's like, dude, I'm trying to focus. And then he's like, and then I start hitting trees. And he's like, and then I realize I'm like, oh wait, that's a big, like, if I have to hit every tree for my brother to win, I'm okay with it, Wow. And so the support is, I mean, it's crazy, dude. We all can see it. We all can feel it. Yeah, I mean, dude, what else is there to say? I'm in shock still to this moment. When we get off this podcast, I'm gonna walk in the living room and I'm gonna start giggling to myself.
What is, and I know Johnny kind of touched on this a little bit, but what does it's present day winning. It's this era, as we said. I'm going to liken this a little bit to what Jessica Weiss said when she won at Queen City. It had been a drought for her. She won in this era, which is so impressive. Just even a $12,000 paycheck. I mean, that used to be like not a good year, but like that used to be a year of golf.
When I won in 2011, right? I won $1,800 for the Brant Hembrick. Exactly.
So 12,000 plus bonuses, plus drops, plus blah, blah, blah. But 12,000 for a weekend of golf. It's been a long time coming to pulling a check like that too, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's awesome. Comes at a great time. My car's about to blow up. It has 380,000 miles on it. Poor Brad has to drive that across the country. So we're going to be investing in a new car eventually for sure. I mean, there's no amount of money that I would trade for this feeling. So right. The money is sweet. If it was zero, I'd be just as ecstatic. It's nice. It's really nice. Like I said, I think for me, that what feels the best is the fact that it was on Mother's Day and my mom is a proud mom right now. Mm-hmm. My wife knows that she's married to a winner. You know what I mean? That feels really
there's been
good.
winners in the family, but now there's in the house.
That's 100% true. Like, listen, my brother-in-law just beats me every single weekend. And so now I can say I'm part of the club. No, that's all important. But, to be in that club of winning then and winning now, that means more to me than anything. It really does, because now my words that I say on podcasts and on the commentary, now there's a little more merit to that. I think when I give my insight, there's going to be a little more merit to that. for me personally, the gratitude that I have for winning is like, it's nuts because I played with Macbeth, I played with Ricky, I played with all these guys, and they're still winning, and I was never part of that club, man. You know, and now to be part of that club and to be able to, you know, I'm not close to being a GOAT. I'm not in that conversation at all. But now I can stand tall with those guys and know that, you know, I was a damn good disc golfer in my life.
Did you get a text from Macbeth? Did he message you? Okay.
I got a text from both GOATs, which was nice.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, Macbeth definitely should have thrown in like "You're lucky I'm not feeling well. You're lucky I wasn't there," or went down that.
I am lucky. Yeah, no, I am for sure. Thanks for staying home this time, buddy.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I've had this question a lot. Would you care if the storm came and they canceled the final round and I'm in the lead? No, not at all. Deal. I'll take it.
Win's a win.
Yeah. Well, that kind of leads me to a silly question I brought up with Johnny earlier, and one I tossed around. Obviously, it was a unique scenario Saturday night with trying to close things out, and you guys were running through the course at some points, played it in record speed, so to speak, and nobody really obviously wanted to come out the next day. You weren't quite as close to that scare as, say, the lead card was. But my question was, and maybe it's applicable to you, I don't know, and I know it's tough in hindsight because here you've gone on to win and you needed them all, but you parred hole 18 on round 3.
Mm-hmm.
We noticed that as they were getting dark, Klein, for instance, off the lead card had bogeyed it, and I had said, would you be okay with taking a bogey in the dark versus a guaranteed par if you came out at 6:30 a.m.?
Coming out at 6:30.
Okay. That stroke, that single stroke, which clearly again is really tough because it was so tight on Sunday. But I asked that because of everything you just said before about disrupting your routines to such a significant degree, to get up, to get to the course, even if you camp next door to it, I don't care. You got to get up, get ready, and then go throw 4 shots to get that par to then come back 6 hours later. And knowing that Kyle specifically, at least, is not a morning guy. I don't know if he's an afternoon or an evening guy.
Well, I'm not either.
Like what that would mean, especially you doing commentary, you staying up, you then having to, you know, figure out your whole routine for that Sunday, like what that would mean to you. But you said it. You'd want to get up and go get that par versus being like, just give me a bogey and I'll sleep in.
I want to get up and get that birdie. Yeah.
That's kind of what I had said. That was the answer. I think maybe it might depend on the course for that final hole. Like if you're looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's the hardest course of all time and par is a birdie, then I'll take the par.
Exactly. But on a course where it's a racetrack, every stroke
Northwood
counts.
Black, and you give me a par now, deal. I'll take the par.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. Yeah, but no, that's good.
Yeah, what is your plan? We were talking about the schedule earlier. We got all these elite pluses in a row, essentially 3 of them, as everyone heads over to the West Coast, and then we'll go up to the Pacific Northwest. And then after that, European Open, the major, some of the European swing. What's making your decision about how much you're playing over in Europe? Because you're playing the next 2 on the West Coast, then heading to the European Open. What's your decision about the ones you are or aren't playing when you're over there?
Yeah, I've already made the decision. Family's going to Europe with me, so we're playing 3 of them. We're skipping the one in Finland,
okay,
and then we're coming home. So I'll be there for 3 weeks,
nice.
4 weeks. Yep.
Okay. Now, are you bringing family? So you maybe it stops you from going out at night. Keeps you in the house. Away from those hooligans.
Those thugs.
Those
freaking thugs, man.
She's there to watch you. She's like, no, I'm coming this year, Paul.
Yeah, no, I think if Sarah goes with me, we're more likely to kind of get in a brawl. She's kind of a fiery.
She's fiery. All right.
She's the instigator.
I got backup this time, so it's okay.
That's right. You wouldn't hit a guy with a baby, would you?
Yeah. No, good question though. Good question.
When you look back, and I know, like you just said, the money doesn't even matter. Do any details matter in terms of, well, it was 4 rounds versus 3. It was Texas versus North Carolina. It was an Elite Plus versus an Elite event. Like, do any of those details, whether they're adding or subtracting in any way, but do you feel like any of those details matter?
I think the only details that would matter is who's there. And I think dang near everybody was there.
Yeah.
Aside from Macbeth.
Right.
The field was stacked, and that would be a bummer. If I won in a small field. I mean, it wouldn't be a bummer. That'd be still awesome. It'd count and all that stuff. But there'd be some asterisks there. And I think this one, luckily, I don't have any of that. It was a stacked field. It was a playoff. I didn't, fumble my way. Somebody didn't bogey down the stretch for me to win. Like I had to win in that fashion. I had to birdie. So I think it had all the right ingredients for me to be okay with it.
Totally agree. And I didn't know if that, in even, just the conversations we had about KC Wide Open a couple of weeks ago. I mean, you can only do and play with what's presented in front of you and what you're allowed to play. And then there was the threat of, weather here, which thankfully we avoided. Everyone was safe.
Yeah, I needed all the holes.
Yeah,
so.
you played all. Exactly. You played all 72 of them. I mean, it wasn't one of these, half-ass wins like Germ got, USDGC, right? I mean, so it was legit, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. We used to joke quite a bit with you, and maybe at you a little bit with you, about you constantly changing up your putt. A couple of years ago, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. But you've become one of the best putters on tour inside the circle. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's you look at it week after week after week, and then you've been hinting that something clicked a week ago. Do you care to elaborate on what clicked for you and what you've done to change your putting game? That it is so reliable. It is truly one of those, it's a weapon for you now.
Yeah, I mean, so a couple things in that sentence. So I changed my backhand form slightly. And it was actually watching Gannon Burr on coverage where I saw he was doing something with his swing that I never thought about and I didn't implement into my game. And seeing it, I went to the field and implemented it right away, and I found great results just kind of instantly. And I actually called him and I asked him for a lesson, and he obliged. The lesson didn't happen, but I just wanted to say that he did oblige, which was awesome. He didn't have to do that, but we chatted about it, and I told him about the form change, and he agreed. Like, yeah, this is good.
Is that a trade secret, or are you gonna share?
No, I can tell you. Yeah. So like during my backswing, my arm position would kind of wrap around my body a little bit for a hyzer flip. So I'd need to get that really close to my body to come through, and then I had a great hyzer flip game, which bodes well for the woods and everything like that. And I was really good at guessing my line. I'm really good at guessing on where that thing's gonna go, and this. I got it a little bit outside of my body to where my alignment, I started aligning my body a little differently. And instead of aligning my body to where it wanted to go, I was aligning the disc on where I wanted the disc to go on what angle. And it allowed me to throw turnovers easier. It allowed me to get more spin on the disc. I went from like 1,300 RPMs to 15 to 1,600, which is a huge increase. And then it actually made me slow down to where I went from like 65 miles per hour to 68 miles per hour down to like 60, 61, getting the same distance or more because of the RPM. So it took me from being very fast to get my distance to I can now be slow with my accurate move and get the same distance while hitting more lines and while being more angle control driven. So like this, if you look at my statistic, I don't know, I haven't looked, but I had to pull it up and look at myself at the top of the leaderboard. That's the only thing that I've seen. I had to make sure that it was real a couple times. But if you look at the statistics, I'm thinking, dude, I hit a lot of fairways. I hit a ton of fairways, and I can't imagine I didn't lead the field in fairways hit because I dang near hit every single one of them. And that's never happened with my backhand. Like I said, I was guessing. In this tournament, I wasn't guessing. I was throwing where I wanted. So that was huge. My putting game, that, has been a challenge for me for the longest time. Back in the day when I was, ranked pretty high in the world, that was my big thing. Like I didn't hit a lot of putts. I could get on fire from like outside the circle, and I'd catch lightning in a bottle from time to time, and I'd putt really well, but it was never consistent. And yeah, I did a couple form changes with that, and I actually designed a putt to wrap around it, and it took 3 years of me implementing this for it to be really good. And it was just, a lot of stuff with me comes down to self-belief and being like, okay, I don't care what anybody thinks. Listen, I'm on the green, and this happened a bunch of times to where I'm watching people implement my putt and just completely making fun of me because it has no speed or nothing for a couple years, and me just sticking with it and being like, no, this is going to work. It's going to be good. I know it. I've designed it this way. And then to see the results from 20 feet, like the first year I started doing it from 20 to 25 feet, I made everything. And I really struggled from like 30 feet. And then the next year I was really good from 30 and in, and I struggled from just at circle's edge really. And then the third year is where I kind of broke all the records, and I made a bunch of putts in a row from inside the circle. And then I had a high percentage out from the whole circle and in. And then last year it was still good, but the range got a little farther. And then finally this year, the range is right around 40 feet to where I feel really confident. And so it's just been a really slow process and being very patient. One thing about me is I don't want to be lost as far as the field goes. I want to constantly get better and constantly try to improve. I don't want to get run over by the new players and everything, and not be like hard-headed and think I got what it takes. And obviously that's not a real thing. So I'm always trying to improve. And I think that's proven well now, doing all these changes and implementing it. Like you said, back in the day, I was famous for just new putt, this, and then I finally found one that really works. And I'm glad that I went through all those form changes to land on something that, it's not, I explain it like this. If Ricky Wysocki came to your course and you'd never seen him putt before, and you'd never seen anything like it, and you watched him putt with no basket, you'd be like, what is this guy doing? Like, that does not look right, But then after years and years and years of us seeing him just cash everything, it looks normal. And I think in a few years, maybe people might think mine looks normal. I hope.
I mean, to me, one of the strangest looking putts is Andrew Marweed. And he is
big time, yeah.
He is
he's the best.
Deadly. It's the last few years, it's been you and him up at the top of the inside the circle, and he looks like he's swiping the disc between his cheeks, and then
that's another thing that's hilarious is there's been a few rumors. One of them is that I keep my own stats, and I have a couple times, but I don't for the most part. And the other rumor is that Brad keeps my stats, which is the funniest rumor because as he's filming me in the final hole, it's pointed backwards, by the way.
It's the Brad
video,
cam.
You can hear us, but it's black. It's the sky and trees and everything back here, which is so funny. So the fact that people think that he keeps my stats is hilarious. He doesn't know how to work a phone. But like, it was nice to come down the stretch and have a tournament like that where people saw me make a bunch of putts on camera because it's just hearsay. Like, oh yeah, he's good, blah, 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 blah. So then to see that, that was important to me to let everybody know, like, no, I'm really a great putter, and, man, that putt on the last hole, the basket looked like the size of the ocean to me, man. It was like nothing I'd ever felt. I've been nervous playing for Coke Zero with AB from that bar, you know what I mean? Yep. And for some reason this time I went into my routine and it just seemed so my exact thoughts were, why does it look like the size of the ocean? Like it shouldn't be this easy. And I'm like, just putt it, dude. If that's the feeling, like
before someone throws me a life raft or throws me a tube.
And I thought that was really cool because, like I said, in past times when I've had pressure putts, it's never felt that way, and that was awesome.
Yeah. I think back to just before the playoff as well, and I know you kind of touched on it, but when Ezra threw his shot coming down in regulation on 18. And the shot we had of Luke Humphreys, like looking at you, like that just happened. Like, oh my God, that's
and you were stone faced.
Yeah,
you're just like,
yeah. I think that was definitely one of the funnier moments.
Well, I thought he was going to make it. I had 100% confidence it was over, and I was going to go, like I said, give him a hug, shake his hand, and be like, "Hey, congratulations." And when he missed, I gave it the, "All right." Yeah, exactly.
Something else you said that's pretty random. I realize I'm thinking about who's older than you out there.
Bradley Williams,
yes,
and Germ, who technically still touring.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm just thinking about this weekend's. I'm looking at this weekend's field.
Bradley DNF'd, so he was there, but
there's two guys. There's three guys.
I know you're probably pretty close to Matty O.
Oh,
that's one of my guesses.
He's older.
Oh, he is. Okay. And then the other one that comes to mind that I just saw, no, I don't, I think, Matt Bell would be my other guess.
I'm pretty sure I'm older than him. It's actually Luke Humphreys.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, Luke's older than me. Yep.
Unc Humphreys. Huh.
Humphreys.
What's been because there is so many posts. There's millions of them. Maybe not.
Some
millions,
of there's some really good memes. Out there
yeah.
too.
So that was my question. What's like either I'll say either the funniest or the most wrong or just whatever. Like what have you read and been like, that's pretty good?
There's a couple of them. So the one I just saw before I got on the show, honestly, was on Disc Golf Humor. They just posted the Barbasol tree, and it had the Dikembe Mutombo finger off of it.
Right.
And it says it understood the assignment.
Right.
Okay. That one was pretty funny. And then the other one was of Michael Jordan sitting in his chair, and they put my head and my, the cowboy hat on there, and been like, and I took that personally to Babcock's, which is so funny that poor guy's getting so much flack. For just a silly post that was like hilarious and just two competitors kind of going after each other, and then I told him, I'm like, dude, the Uli's Army is a real thing. Like, you got to be careful with that.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I mean, when we posted tonight, or I posted earlier today that we were going to have you, and somebody said, make sure you ask him about it. I'm like, and this is me, I know. I'm like, I'm so over it. It was a joke. It took on a life of its own. It's been explained since then and everything else. But, obviously you guys are boys. You're good. All that good stuff. Like you said, just all in good fun. However, the timing is insane. It's
impeccable.
You don't win for forever.
Imagine him. That's what I'm saying. Imagine
young man talks a little shit.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Like you don't poke the Yuli bear.
Okay, so maybe there was one guy not rooting for Yuli. Maybe just because he knew he was going to hear it.
Right.
Oh, so funny.
I mean, the amount of times I've seen Babcock tagged and stuff already myself, I'm just like, okay, guys, give it a rest a little bit. Like, back off him a little, but
you know, and he's actually playing really well. I think there's a lot of guys right now that have a really good shot of breaking through.
Right.
And I hope they can use this as I know for a fact they can use this win as being like, well, if Yuli can do it, anybody can do it. You know what I'm saying? I know I used that motivation when Bradley Williams won a few years back, and when Matty O won, it gave me hope. And so, you know, that's also a thing about this that I'm not naive to, that this does give a lot of people who play with me in 90th place from week in and week out being like, man, I just played with him like 2 weeks ago. He's hit every tree. Brad were in a fist fight on hole 3 over there in the woods.
Those bets with AB aren't going to be for Coke Zero anymore.
Yeah, so
AB's like, I know you got some cash in that wallet now, buddy.
Yeah, so it's nice to be a little beacon of light at the end, of something for some people.
Right. Now, I think it's fair in this context. Competitive golf, and I know, of course, you want the major win, but where is your mind when it comes to age protected? You've watched your brother for a couple of years have some successes there.
Kale just got his first major.
Kale just picked up, and I know, and there's just so many great people. And truly, if we're being fair, these are also the people that you really came into the game with when we're talking about.
Wow. Backhanded compliment.
Us included, Johnny. But Masters golf, you're eligible in a couple of years. Is that something you're, looking forward to? I mean, rejoin Germ and whoop him every weekend. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Where does Masters golf rank for you? Because some players are like, No,
I'll definitely play the majors. You're not going to see me at like tournaments, bailing out. I hope unless this 90th streak keeps going, you know what I mean? I want to stay competitive on the Pro Tour for as long as I can, until that belief goes away. And like I said, I'm crazy, so I don't know how long that's gonna be. But no, it looks very enticing. I play C tiers on the weekend still, guys. Like that's never stopped. Like I love competitive disc golf. To play against Germ and Sexton and Kale and those guys down the stretch, Joe Revere down the stretch, and see where we land. Listen, I would love that. There's a reason why on the weekends I'm not traveling to A tiers to play against Gannon Burr still.
Right.
I come home and I play a couple C tiers here and there. I enjoy a week off from the best players in the world. Before it was to remind myself that I was still good. So I got to take a little step back and wonder if I'm going to still play a bunch of C tiers to prove to myself that I still got it now that I got this nice win, But I promise if there's something close, I just like competing. I like playing. It's my favorite thing. It always has been. I've proven that I leave the tour and I play flex starts when I can. It's just disc golf's my favorite thing, man.
A lot of parallels with like Owen Scoggins. Age, she's a grinder. Yeah. She's playing every weekend. In between, she's looking for that A tier or B tier to play. Like, oh, I've got a week off. Let me play this. Right. It's that same mentality. And if there's someone to look at, she's almost closer to 50 than she is 40. And she's still winning. So,
right.
It's out there. It can happen. We saw Johnny McRae for years.
He's somebody that I used to I use as as an example a lot. Like I want to be good that long. Like I think, dude, for the longest time until this weekend, like that was my calling card of being like, well, I've been known for a grinder forever. If I can keep my tour card and keep competing and keep being out there and keep being visible, like, that's who I'm going to be known for. I'm going to be known as the grinder who he's still there competing. Like, that's awesome. Like a Johnny McRae, who made a deep run at the USDGC late in age.
Yeah. Right.
So that's still a goal of mine. Dude, I want to be as good as possible, as long as possible. I love watching people fall off the tour. I love it.
Because you feel like you've outlasted them. You feel like 100%. You have that resilience and dedication.
You're like Aaron Rodgers, who's going to be your quarterback again this year.
No, I do like that, because that's a skill. It's a skill to stay
right
on the tour. There's a reason that there's not a lot of people my age out there who can still do it. Like an honest skill, and that, like I said, was my calling card for the longest time. Like, hey, kids, you could play well into your late 30s and be pretty good. Like, it's okay. But yeah. So I want to stay on the tour as long as I can.
Dip into the FPO conversations of where that's at, because obviously you're knowledgeable, you're a fan of the game, you know all of the women as well. I know you're not commentating on them necessarily, but you certainly know everything that's going on week in and week out. Give us just your take on the FPO division or OWN specifically, whatever you want, but give us your take on it.
No, it's cool, man. One of the things over the last few years is the competitiveness, and the new faces that I see on there is fantastic. And even more so that I see in the FPO division is juniors competing at a very, very high level earlier than they are in the MPO.
Right.
So seeing that tells me that the division is very healthy and growing, and that's very important for their division. It looks like it's wide open to me. After Kristen retired, it opened up the floodgates to whoever wants it can go and get it. And I think OWN, really stepped through that door and is getting as many as she can right now. And Silva, once she gets a little more comfortable in that winning scenario, she's going to be really hard to beat. It seems like maybe the nerves get to her a little bit down the stretch, which we can all see, and it opens the door for, a 10 under like OWN shot this weekend to come in and snag it from her. And then Holland is so incredibly talented as far as the distance that she has, both backhand and forehand, and the putting distance that she has. And it's really cool to see Katrina Allen have a reinsurance in the division for having a hiatus for a long time and also having a kid. And then to come back and be very competitive. I think that we're going to see a win from her eventually in the next couple of years. I think she's trending in that direction. And in my life, I've never seen any player, I don't care, MPO, FPO, anybody work as hard as she does. So when all that comes together, that would be really nice to see her win again.
Yeah, she's been putting really well as recently.
Right. So well. Yeah. And that, she really struggled with that for a lot of years right there in between. And so the FBO division looks great. It's healthy. We have really good athletes coming in.
Taylor,
Taylor,
Sophia specifically, in terms of just your natural athletes. And then, like you said, you think of your juniors, whether it's an Ann Deputy or an MJ Gager, those types. And then obviously, internationally, we see what's being done by Ida Latamaki and a few of those. It's insane.
Jessica Gerthy win for the first time in years and years and years. I mean, just fantastic. So, no, healthy division. It's my favorite thing to wake up before my tournament rounds and watch FPO coverage. And I really enjoy it, and I think it's heading in the right direction. If I could give them advice, if you can learn to putt outside the circle really well, you're going to win a lot of tournaments. Because if you see what these girls who are winning in OWN and Silva, they can make deep putts over and over and over again, and that's the bonus right there.
Right.
That's the bonus.
Right.
So
Yeah, that 85%-ish territory from C1. Make sure that's on lockdown.
And then get to 20 to 17% from Circle 2, and you're looking really good. And that's, me saying that's not hard. That's not the case. What I'm saying is it can be done. And if I was in the FPO division, I would quit practicing in the field and I would go to the putting green and I'd practice from 45 feet. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I think I'm not unique in saying that this weekend maybe continues to, and I know you hit all but like 4 fairways the whole weekend, I think the stats showed. So I know your driving was on, but this weekend really drove home how putting can win you tournaments. And that was done on the FPO side and on the MPO side. And putting will never hurt you at any tournament. It's, I'm not John Madden.
I mean, I still make 100% in the circle and I get 90th. So
I know. But what putting can do for you on any given weekend, it's just hurting. Incredible. And putting's the one thing that everyone I think can go out and most quickly and easily address, because you can literally do it in your hallway, in a hallway in your house or in a basement or in an attic or wherever.
Put it to your couch and a pillow.
Right. It can be done anywhere and everywhere. So, switching gears just for a moment, and then we'll cut you loose here pretty soon. But how are you in terms of, obviously you wear a ton of different hats, including a brand new Stetson 4X. You wear a ton of different hats. Post-production, also doing a podcast weekly. Is there any gaps in things you still want to be doing from a media perspective? A practice round, let me forget that. But is there any gaps of things where I do have an extra 3 hours a week I'd like to be putting into something else? Is there anything that's missing, or are you tapping into all the media efforts you'd like to be?
I think I tap into there pretty well. I mean, obviously we could all be better at social media and posting regularly and finding things to do as far as that goes. But man, I'm a dad. So that's when I come home, like this morning, I woke up early, got up, my wife got to sleep in for the first time in a while, and I got to take my daughter all day, and so it doesn't really open up a ton of time to do a lot of things anymore, which is just fine. Right. So while I'm on tour, I'm pretty booked up. I wouldn't want to think that I could do more. I probably could. One of the things that I tell, as I mentor a lot of people, younger people is, dude, you can find time for anything. Like, it's just an excuse. If you want to be this, then just do it. Like, you're just being lazy and you're just being a bum. And I felt that way about myself for a long time. And I'm sure you feel this way too, Terry. Like, no, I could do more. And for somebody like you and I, like, that's a crazy thing to say to somebody, but you can find time to do whatever you need to do. That's an excuse that I don't like to hear the younger generation say. Listen, it's 11:45 here on the East Coast, and I'm on a podcast with you guys, and that's because we find time to do it. It's right. It's our job. So if there is something that pops up, I'll probably be on it, just like you're going to be on it, Terry. I think you and I are like-minded in the fact that we can jump on the newest trend of whatever it is that needs to be done in disc golf.
Have you been dipping into the whatnots yet? Have you done those?
I have. Yeah, okay. I've had a little bit here and there.
I haven't. I'm not a whatnotter, so I don't know wwho is and who isn't. So I figured I'd ask.
Quit being lazy, Johnny. Quit being lazy. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't need to buy discs. And I don't need. I need to buy some Nerf discs, and I need to buy a Uli disc apparently. So I should be all right.
Yeah, and kind of along those lines, I'm always a big fan of, because people often ask me, hey, when you're out there touring, do you play all these courses? And more often than not, I say, no, I don't. And then I used to say, well, I don't have time for it. And then I corrected myself a couple of years ago. And I said, no, I have time for it. I just don't prioritize that. I prioritize other things. I could go get a round in. I could do this. Usually I'm more focused on other work or things I have to do. I could get out there. I have the same 24 hours that you do, and the same 24 hours that Johnny does. We all have the same 24 hours. It's a matter of what do you want to prioritize. Yeah. And then go out and do that, and don't make the excuses or give me some other BS. I have a hard time listening to some of those, what I feel like are excuses as well. So I know what you mean, but it's got to also be a priority to you. But don't tell me something's a priority and then you're not finding time, because then it sounds like you really are coming up with some other backdoor excuse at that moment. So make the most of what you got out there for sure. I'm guessing, like myself, about a week before you'll fly back out now to the West Coast to go to OTV. Yep. I think I just saw Joe Mez practice round, probably film next Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. What's kind of the travel schedule at that point?
Leave Monday, get there Monday, practice round Tuesday morning, practice. I have a few extra media obligations this next week, which is kind of nice. It's kind of
yeah.
I don't think that's a good thing, actually. You're gonna have to prioritize some more time here and there.
Yep.
But yeah, that's heading out on Monday.
Along those lines, will it? Anytime do you foresee it getting old talking about this? Because now, like you just said, you're going to be maybe on a feature card in a couple next week for the event. You're going to be probably part of the press conference that you haven't necessarily been part of for the last little bit. You're going to have these other things. Can you envision a world where you're like, I'm done talking about Austin. Can we just get past it? I want to win the next one.
No, it's been 15 years, Terry, since I've even sniffed. Not since I've sniffed, but it's been a long time.
You're soaking it.
Yeah.
In fact, all of the Discraft crew, they're going to be like, it's been 15 years, dude. Like, and this is in 15 years. You're like, oh yeah, we know you won Austin 15 years ago, pal. Okay, all right, we got it.
I might skip OTB.
You want to keep the streak alive, right?
I might skip OTV.
If I ain't there, they can't beat me.
That's right. That old ankle injury. I flew out there.
I was there, guys. If Yuli was there.
Right, that's what they're going to say. It's like, oh, thank God Yuli wasn't. Yeah. That's what Gannon.
There's an asterisk next to this win because Yuli's not there.
I just got to thank Yuli for withdrawing at the last minute. I didn't think I was going to get past him somehow this weekend. Mm-hmm. So
you probably won't answer this. Is the Stetson hat going to fly back to California with you? You're going to wear it during the practice round?
Geez.
I know you've got it.
Yeah, get it on. We got to see it. There it is.
Like, because we know Germ has like that silly crown hat, which now isn't anywhere near as cool as the Stetson. So,
no, the Stetson's gonna stay on the wall, and
okay.
I thought about wearing it at the press conference or something, but no, it'll stay here. No, I'm going to soak it up. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to leave here, giggle in 15 minutes, wait 15 minutes, giggle again. And I hope that doesn't stop for a while. But the thing about the tour is eventually there's another tournament and it comes up quick and champions get forgotten right after that. So got to get back on the
unless you retire on top. I mean, right now,
I could do that. I am in a position. The thought creeped into my mind today where I was like, what if I just wouldn't be the worst thing.
Mic drop, lasso drop. You're done. Yeah. Right? Go out on top.
Wouldn't that be cool? Just never play again. That'd be awesome. No more sea tears, no more nothing.
Just vanish.
But dude, he won the Open at Austin, and then he just rode off into the sunset, hopped on his, on his horse. That was the end. Ride, Uli, ride. I don't know.
I think I need someone. I've been thinking about this, like Uli talking about laughing every 15 minutes. I need someone to adjust the meme of the man and the woman in bed, and her thinking like, is he thinking about other women? And Uli just laughing like he's thinking about Austin, just thinking about Austin as he's laying in bed, chuckling to himself.
Yeah. It's surreal, guys. I'm not.
You've earned it. I mean, it's good. Milk. Yes. You should be soaking it in. You should be milking it in.
Right.
You should be sitting there with your daughter on your lap, watching the live on repeat. Right, for like the next 2 days. Like, no, this is called bonding time, honey. You know?
Right. One time you can watch TV.
That's right. No Bluey. We're watching Austin.
I'm sure he's gracious as always, and was happy. But did you have any extra words with Antala? I mean, who was setting up to do something we haven't seen in modern day disc golf, anything like that as our champ?
He's a sweetheart, man. Right after the tournament, he waited in line and waited for, a lot of people to congratulate me and came and was genuinely happy for me. I mean, he's just, we all know Niklas. He's just an absolute doll. So that was cool.
Good. Yeah. I mean, because that was very much, which kind of got
going into the weekend
set aside early, as he struggled, but that was very much a conversation. Obviously, he's had the successes there, but we haven't seen a modern day three-peat of the same event on the MPO side. And we've seen Gannon dominate some tournaments. We've seen Macbeth in years. Calvin's done really well in Arkansas. We've seen these stories.
Ricky did the Texas thing for a little while, but they weren't pro tours.
The modern day pro tour, no one's been able to get 3 in a row. And
there's not a lot of people who have a chance to do it. So I guess I might have to grab the bull by the horns on this one, guys.
37, 38, and 39.
I hate to do this, but that just makes me wonder, how many times have you beat Antala?
A lot. Not a lot, but
more than 5.
Yeah.
More than 5, I want to guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me. I'm not. This is no.
Terry's just going to go through all the topics. How many times have you beaten this guy? How many times have you beaten this guy?
It's a fun rabbit hole to go down. Believe me.
No. And to be fair, you also are the reason that Statmando made an entirely different stat a couple of years ago, and it's called the battle count. Unique players beaten. You have beaten more unique players than anyone else in disc golf.
That's not what we called it.
Well, we politely called it your bitch list. When you beat someone.
That's what we used to call it to each other. Like, oh, yeah, you're on my bitch list.
Yeah. If to get certain high-profile players, that you beat once, maybe in a lifetime, like a Barry Schultz or someone, you're like.
Or like Anthony Barella.
You're right. One Johnny's got the tattoo even.
It's on my back. It's my tramp stamp.
It's weird. It says bitch list, and then it just has Barella's name.
It's the only person.
But anyway, you have 6,000, this at least prior to this weekend, 6,776 unique players beaten. And the next closest person is Nico LaCastro with 6,314. So you've beat literally more players, more variety of players than anyone else in the world. So that's when I say, how many times have you and Antala gone at it, each other here. It's not any disrespect. But the numbers are in because I ran them.
Okay.
You are 9, 40, and 4 against Antala. So you have beat Antala now 9 times. He's gotten you 40, and you've tied 4 times.
Okay.
So just saying, like, and that kind of does feed into, though, like, this was a 100% legitimate field and then some, being an Elite Plus event, and everybody in our game was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
miracles happen, bro.
Tap off to it. How many lottery tickets did you go buy? Some Powerball? I mean, at that point, you're like, damn, I can't lose.
Hey, man, coming down the stretch, it was like all of a sudden I'm in a playoff. Like I said, I just floated to the tee pad. I floated to the basket. It was like, it was surreal. It was surreal. Believe me, when you're in, like I said, dude, I've been battling for last cash. It seems like every tournament. That's where my pressure's been,
Right.
I've always said this. There's no pressure like last cash pressure. Dude, winning the tournament felt like a breeze compared to that.
Especially when you got that fixed cost of Brad next to you, like, oh, 500 going to you no matter what, huh, Brad?
Yeah, exactly.
Uli. Well, we know you've had a busy week. You've got a busy week coming up. You got family time. You've got everything else. But before we let you go, some may not know this. You were one of our most regular guests, correspondents, whatever you want to call it, regulars here on the show for a number of years on SmashBoxx, which again shows all of our age. That was 10-ish years ago, 10, 12 years ago. But it has been incredible to watch all of this journey. Is there anything you want to say to the rest of the world that maybe you haven't shared with everyone?
No, I mean, thanks for having me on again. It's good to catch up with you guys. Just like jumping right back on the horse with you two goobers, man. It's awesome. We need to do this again soon.
Right.
Thank you to everybody all the messages. I mean, I think I made more grown men cry this week than I care to imagine. I've had a lot of messages telling me this thing. So incredible week. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for everybody for all the messages. And I just want to have this week to soak in it, and hopefully it becomes a reality soon. And then, like I said, on Monday we get on a plane and it all starts over.
Yeah, let's have you back, and let's not make it 15 years again, right? Like, let's.
Oh, geez, this is good.
Yeah, that's one of the memes I saw that I did enjoy. So
yes, yeah, very, very good. Uli, we love you. The rest of the world loves you. It couldn't have been a more exciting and fun weekend to watch the golf. To be there for me, you're right. For me to be on the mic was an honor for me. To have the history that we've had and the history you've had with just disc golf has been incredible. So it was awesome to see. And as some of us say, let's run it back. Right? We'll be in the same group over there in OTB in a couple weeks.
Cool.
Anything can happen. Lightning can strike twice. You can hit those lottery numbers again. You can push through every fairway and make every putt. And we're gonna be right there to watch it and cheer you on, buddy.
That's a deal. All right, I'll see you there, right. Terry.
Good night.
Thanks, Johnny.
Good night, man. Have a good one.
Oh, Ulibarri, champ. The Barbasol Open at Austin.
And Home 2 Suites.
Champion. Presented by Hampton Inn. Home 2 Suites.
Austin East.
Not
the Austin West one. That one's a shithole.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I don't know.
And the funny thing is awkward as the phrasing is, it's Home 2 Suites Austin East, which is on the text. The graphic showed East Austin. And I was like, oh, that doesn't look right. Because everywhere I saw it was Austin East. Yep. How they make their distinctions, obviously, it was something that even tripped me up, and I was like, I'm not messing with any of that. I'm just going to screw up it all.
Say what they tell you to say, Terry. Just puppet it up.
I'm just a monkey here, little puppet. Anyway, big shout out to Uli. How awesome
it is!
I should have done really some trivia as to which was the first show he was on. In terms of SmashBoxx, he's made quite a few appearances. I mean, we had Uli picks. We watched him go through another podcast that started and then finished. I mean, he's just continued to do a lot of different things, and I'm not ripping on it for not continuing, but that's been disc golf like media and player development.
When he was injured, when he had hurt, I believe it was his knee or his hip or whatever it was. I was at work one day and I get a ring and I looked at it and I was like, I don't know if I know this number. And I pick it up and it was Uli. And he's like, hey, Johnny. And I'm like,
can you help me with my computer?
It was part of that. No, it was more like he was just like, hey, I got this idea, this YouTube thing. And this was 8-9 years ago. He's like, it's a YouTube idea and I'm wondering if you can help me with it. We can do this and that. And I was like, yeah, let's work on something. We'll get it worked out. And it ended up not happening. he was moved on to something else. But it's just, there's these pros, they do keep trying things. And Uli as well. He just kept grinding it out. And then obviously, he's doing Jomez and practice rounds now. And just, it's a lot of fun to see what he's doing. Basically, I mean, we're going to take all the credit for it. So, we should.
I am curious, and maybe I'll post about it later this week. Maybe I'll do some of my research as to what I would think that within the time of me starting my vlog in 2010.
Oh yeah,
I probably interviewed him within the first 10 or 12 vlogs at that time. Would be my guess, but awesome, congratulations.
You know what, Terry? I
no,
don't necessarily think we need an after show tonight.
No, I hear you.
I think we can do 2 giveaways next week.
Okay.
And we
might even be 3 by then.
Oh, got it. Yeah, you're right. It probably is 3 by then.
Last week, this week.
You're right.
And then next week will be 3. Sure. Yeah, let's do that. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
What I'll also say is stay tuned. Like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things.
Click the ring the bell.
There is a chance that we do what we did this last week, which is push to Wednesday night. Because there's a good chance I think I'm traveling Tuesday again, because as Uli just said, with the event, I'm going to be traveling Tuesday, getting out there, and then Wednesday we'd have a press conference. Wednesday I'd have walk the course with the players and get more inside stories from Uli, who tells me I'm going to be talking about them. Who would have thought? All of these things. So it might be more logical and, dare I say, more insightful if we have a show next Wednesday instead of Tuesday. If I, in fact, travel on Tuesday, then Wednesday would make more sense to have our show next week. So for once, I'm going to actually foreshadow and put that out there, that next week might be on Wednesday again like it was last week. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I mean, Uli told us we have to do everything. I've already packed the exact same shorts, the exact same underwear, everything. I mean, we got to keep
same outfit.
Keep this consistent.
You're dragging Philo there.
Right. I'm going to be all of those same things. So I'm going to call it the Open at Austin when we open when I open the show. I mean, we're going to do it all the same so that we can pull this one back for Uli. So just know that there might be an announcement come Monday or Tuesday as to if we have to move it to Wednesday, or if it's more sensible. I saw a number of people out there this weekend. As always, they say hello to you, Johnny, kind of.
Hi.
Like, tell Johnny.
Thank you.
I'm like, okay. But lots of people, Smashies out there, as always. Just thank you so much. I know one in particular person, Michael, we ran into each other like 12 different times, and every time I was like scurrying to get to the next thing. So, Michael, I apologize we didn't get to talk longer, but he says he watches. Somehow he listens to you even, Johnny.
Wow.
And
thank you.
I just wanted to say sorry we didn't get a chance to talk more, but we appreciate the support from everybody. Chili Willie jumped in earlier with a legitimate super chat.
Thank you,
and then
dude.
some.
Thank you.
Our super chat hasn't been used since Uli last won, so it's a
little dusty.
Dusty.
Brush off that button.
We do appreciate anyone that jumps in on the super chat. But in all seriousness, if you're new here or you jumped in to have Uli join us, this is kind of our silliness week in and week out. We don't take it too serious, but we hope that you come back and join us again next week. And then we'll have some giveaways and everything else, 3 of them, in fact. So with that, congratulations yet again. I'll say it, all of the crew for the Open at Austin. Awesome time being out there. That's my first time since the U.S. Women's, and they treat everyone so well, and we had such a good time. Your tournament directors, your assistant tournament directors, the crew over at Sprinkle, Zach and that entire crew, and Michael over at Austin Beer Works, and just everybody that treated us so great throughout the week. Absolutely had a phenomenal time in Austin, as we would hope to, and it lived up to the hype and then some. And Harvey Pennick was fun to be at and a great time. So big thanks to everyone. We didn't even talk really about any of the commentary teams and switch ups. We can talk about that maybe even next week, but lots of fun for it. So appreciate everyone out there. Congrats one more time then to Owen Scoggins, your champion, along with, of course, Paul Ulibarri. For Johnny V, I'm the Disc Golf Guy. That's SmashBoxxTV podcast 607. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week, either Tuesday or Wednesday, sometime or another, when you step inside the Smashbox.
Thank you to our $2 and above patrons. Your name is listed below in the credits. If you are interested in being listed as a producer in the Smashbox TV credits and supporting this and other fine podcasts, please visit patreon.com/SmashBoxxTV.